rappers. You gotta watch those dudes. That's some of the funniest shit you've ever seen.
Dude, by the way, that WrestleMania Sunday night, those guys were going to have us on the show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to watch Sunday night,
I don't know if I'll watch it. I might just call old shit. But yeah, be on the show. You know what really broke me? What everybody just started going about is real life. I don't know. It's just like everybody's doing the same thing. I can't watch it. I watched shooting with Kevin Nash and stuff. I'll tell you what, like in real life, I went on Reddit just to see about Kevin Nash. Everybody says like he really is good. Like he's not, and even other wrestlers are saying, they're like he's a big guy, he's tall, like he's masculine, and he's like he just thinks he runs the shit. It doesn't matter if it's in the locker room or thing. Like you don't need to tell you how you do that. Well, you know, it's funny. Jim Cornette also said like he's an average big man that happens to be on top of WWF and he's in the lowest part of the entire he's like a slow zero.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And it's Friday night.
Yay!
How's it going? How are you? How are you doing?
Well.
You doing good?
Yeah, we just talked before the show.
Yeah, I know. I had a shitty dinner.
What'd you have?
I had wings at a place called VBC. Well, you've been to VBC.
Yeah.
I had their wings, but I was trying to be healthy, so I had the baked wings, and they were nasty. They were like if you have wings and you just like make them in your freezer,
Yeah.
or like make them in your oven from the freezer.
Yeah, you had that Tyson shit fury.
Yeah,
yeah, that Tyson fucking wings.
Yeah, they were like Tyson wings. That's exactly what it was like, dude. It fucking sucked.
I bet they were Tyson wings. I mean, I bet you they didn't make that shit from scratch. They're like, hey man, go over to Kroger and get me some Tyson wings. This asshole wants fucking baked chicken wings.
Yeah, dude. When they do them right, when they fry them, they're not that bad from there. But these were gross. Not good.
I don't know if I'm not a big chicken wing fan anyway, but I don't know if baked would even be good no matter what. Like baked wings.
Yeah, I think it's more like they're supposed to be grilled. Like if they grill them, like on a grill, they're good. But baked, you do not want to go inside of this darkness. Our first super chat of the night is from Josh Ayers. Thanks, buddy. He says, "Hey guys, I can't stick around long. Just wanted to show some fam love with a few bucks and that thumbs up."
Hey, thanks, man. Why are you sounding like Batman all of a sudden? Gotham needs me. I gotta go.
That's how I imagined he said it. I can't stay long. Just wanted to show some.
Not the way you said it. I just like the way he actually worded it. It sounded like he had some business to deal with in Gotham.
Hey, I hope you enjoy whatever you're doing this Friday night, Josh, and thanks for the super chat, buddy. Yeah, JT Customs, you're right, man. And Twisted Nymphetamine. Did you hear DMX died?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I know that he was on. They pulled the plug, I guess, this morning, but they said he had been in a vegetative state since yesterday, so his family was pretty much like it was over.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I guess he had a heart attack and then.
No, it was a drug overdose, from what I understand from initial reports.
Yeah, I saw something about that the first time that they mentioned it. It's crazy, man. I listened to in honor of him. I listened to some DMX at the gym today, dude. I think I had his like one of his early like It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I had that like in middle school, and like I like the tracks that weren't popular. Like I listened to the whole CD. I don't remember much of it now. I got to go back and listen to it then. But it's easy to forget how many hits he had, dude. He had the Party Up in Here song.
Yeah. X gonna give it to you.
X gonna give it to you. I think is his best song. Fuck waiting for you to get it on your own. X gonna deliver to you.
What was that album called? It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
That's one of the albums. Yeah, I don't remember.
Talk
which one
about.
That was on.
Oh yeah, it's like huh? Yeah, you think? It's like put a lot of effort in that. Yeah, I don't know. I only knew those two songs. I know who DMX was. It just sucks that he was 50 years old.
Yeah.
That's young.
And he was still rapping and shit too. Rough Riders anthem. You remember that one, right? Dun 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 dun. Whoa, no, that's how Rough Riders roll.
It sounds well, the way you're doing it. It sounds like I'm going into Disneyland, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
That's just because I'm white.
I know. I was like, it has no rhythm in your voice. I don't know what it is.
That's correct, sir. That's why I'm not DMX. But whenever I talk about DMX in the past, I'll always follow it up with like, yeah, you know DMX. You gotta bark when you say his name. He was a fucking hard dude, man. I don't know if it was a true story or not, but I did read something, and this could be way off. It's just a weird memory I have that he stole an FBI car or something one time. Some crazy shit about cocaine in an FBI car. I don't know if somebody knows that story. You got to tell us. But he was a fucking great rapper, dude. He really was
good. I had thought he'd retired because I hadn't heard from him in a long time.
I've seen a lot of pictures of him older rapping and stuff, so I think he was still doing it. And something about maybe an album coming out, but this is all here and there. I don't know for sure.
I mean, he was a great rapper, but nobody can touch No Limit Soldiers. I thought I told you.
Oh God,
Master PP. Master PP.
I think some of those dudes were fake as shit, like back in the day. Like I don't know, like some you never know, but like some of like the No Limit people and stuff like that. But DMX, you always knew he was fucking for real. He was the real deal.
Wasn't the only thing I know? Didn't Silk the Shocker belong to that group? Silk the Shocker. I liked him. I just liked his name, Silk the Shocker. It's like a badass pimp from New York.
Yeah,
Silk the Shocker. You belong to Silk's boys. I can't be fucking with you. You'll shock the shit out of me.
There's two things No Limit had, dude. A, they had those chains, which by the way, I was telling my daughter the other day. I was like, no, I used to have a No Limit Records chain that I wore, and I almost got in a fight in school because someone said it was fake, and I was like, yours is fucking fake. It's fucking Henry Ginner. They had those. They had the No Limit Soldiers chains, and then they had the CDs. And the CDs were the coolest looking things ever because they had the side plastic was like these little plastic lines, and they were like bright colors, and like some of them were like chromed. You remember when Snoop Dogg jumped and went to No Limit? He had that fucking like The World Is Yours one with like that chromed out shit. We would buy the CDs and not even listen to them.
I mean, there was a little CD store in our town called Jams, and we would go up there all the time, my brother Mike and me, and like literally collect those motherfuckers like they were Pokemon cards. Yeah. I mean, I never even like I'd open them up and kind of smell them because you like that smell of a fresh case, a fresh CD case, and then you'd be like putting in. I was like, I didn't know what the fuck they were saying because it was too fast, and I'm super urban white. I can't even fucking know what's going on half the time. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know what this is, but I just wanted to collect them because I had like 4 or 5 CDs. I had a green one. I don't remember what that was. I think I knew one called Helicopter or some shit talking about his dick being a helicopter. I don't remember.
Rodney Carrington. That's the country singer.
No, but I think there was a fucking rap song about it called a helicopter, and it was about his dick.
Probably was.
About his wiener. I was like, yeah, if you're gonna make a song about anything, man, you fucking man up and say, hey, my dick's the size of a fucking helicopter blade. I could swing that shit around and fly over downtown like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, man. Ironically, Cody collected him more than we did. You would have never imagined that, but I think he had more than both of us. He had some like the random ass like B-level label rappers from No Limit.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird time. I don't even know why we did. I don't know how much money because those fucking CDs were like $21.
Yeah, dude,
they were expensive.
$18.50 for like the cheap ones. You know? It's crazy times.
Because you're like, oh yeah, did you go to Jams, man? They got the new a fucking No Limit album out. Like, oh, I'm gonna be up there after school.
Yeah, and then like CDs as a whole used to be really expensive, man. I remember the first CD I ever I traded CDs, and I bought CDs like on the school bus, but the first CD I actually ever bought in a store was actually with you and Mom and Big Dad when you guys took me with you to Gatlinburg, and they gave us each like $40 and were like, hey, go buy something. Cody bought that Halloween mask. He bought that. It was like the shitty Party City one.
Yeah, he got a really bad one.
Yeah, he got that, and you bought the Rocky soundtracks.
Rocky 4 soundtrack. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Rocky 4 soundtrack, and I bought Eve 6, the Heart in a Blender CD, and I managed to also scoot in Nirvana's Bleach album. And I was listening to it on the way home, and I remember listening to Eve 6 Nirvana on the way home in the back of the car, and you and Cody were fucking fighting.
That's because Cody was trying to fucking, he wanted my goddamn, no.
He was trying to trade you.
Yeah, he's trying to get Rocky 4 album from me for his shitty goddamn Party City Halloween mask. And even like back then, that was before Trick or Treat Studio to even come out with. So I mean, even then I was like, that's a piece of shit mask, dude. He got robbed. I think they sold it like for like $40, like in Gatlinburg.
Yeah,
and he was a fucking highway robbery.
I remember it was exactly $40, dude, because he spent all of his fucking money on it. He spent his whole bankroll at the first shop he went to, and he was pissed about it because you were listening to like fucking No Easy Way Out and having a badass time, and Cody's like, dude, just trade me, come on. He was like, you know, it's nice.
I can't help it. You're
right.
fucking stupid and you did that. I'm not going to be responsible for your actions. You have ruined your performance, not ruined mine.
He backtracked though, because he took the mask home and he filled it full of like newspaper and he put it on his counter and he tried to make it look nice. You know,
He should have kept it. I don't know, just for memories only.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have been worth a fucking popcorn toot, but he could have had it. I've got that Rocky 4 out, dude. I've still got the actual soundtrack, like the actual original case that we had in Gatlinburg.
it's a great album, dude. It's a great album.
Speaking of Rocky 4, I did watch that. Have you watched that? It came out like February 27th. It was like 11 and a half minutes on Sly talking about his re-edit and recut.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
actually not bad at all. It's pretty cool. And you can tell he's into it and he's trying to find these old like lost scenes and shit. But something like I think it's so funny to see him in the director chair when he's talking to Dolph Lundgren. He was like, no, say it again. But then now I want you to look at me. And then you hear Dolph Lundgren go, and he's like, I could not be beaten. And then Sylvester Stallone goes, and it's weird to be a director and an actor at the same time because he's still flowing with the scene, but I don't know if it was good enough for him. Like he makes him look at him, but then I don't know if he really liked it, the way that he did it.
Stallone got pissed at the guy in the booth that was editing that scene because he's like, no, I want, as soon as he says my name and he turns his head, I want to see the shot. And the guy kept doing it. He's like, oh, too soon. He's like,
yeah,
too late. Like, I was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Stallone. Fuck.
Dude, I would give anything. I just stand there and hold his fucking water just to be in the room with him, just to like have him like watch him edit something like Rocky. Holy shit, that'd be cool as hell. That'd be an experience. I don't know how good it's gonna be. I mean, it's obviously not gonna be something like a Zack Snyder recut or anything. I mean, I don't know how many like new scenes, but it'll still be cool. I mean, they updated the sound and shit in it.
Yeah, it's just to have a new version of old school Rocky would be nice. I'll be all up on it. And also, I mean, we talked about it last stream that he's not going to be in Creed 3, but he also put on Instagram that he's writing a treatment for a Rocky prequel right now.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a Rocky prequel. Let me ask you this: more interested in a Rocky prequel written by Sylvester Stallone, or more interested in Creed 3?
Rocky prequel.
Me too. Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing against Michael B. Jordan. It might be fine, but I mean, once you lose Rocky, man, you lose my flavor. I don't want to really watch it anymore. I mean, I was actually telling Cody about that the other day, and he came over. He's a huge Rocky fan too, and he's the same way. He's like, I'm not. I think a lot of people aren't interested now. I mean, I'm sure people will go see it and have fun with it because it's a boxing movie, and I like boxing movies, but it's fucking based on Rocky Balboa, and he's not even going to be a part of it. And the worst thing they can do is, I'm sure it's somewhere they can't, but if they try to kill him off screen, ooh, that's going to be a bad fucking situation.
and that's the problem, dude. And they're going to have to kill him off screen, or they'll say, oh, he moved, he got a restaurant somewhere else. And that's going to be stupid. Had Rocky been in that movie and had like a really impactful death scene, because it would make sense, right? Mick died in Rocky 3. Mick was the heart of that film, and the way that he died, and Rocky, used that as motivation. Had they done that, then in a way, the Creed movies would have carried on. It still would have felt like Balboa was there. You can't have Creed 4 happen and then him start flashbacking to Stallone giving him advice when Stallone, whatever happened there, they had some sort of divisive situation, didn't want to work with him anymore. They're not going to be able to do that. I think it really just farted on the whole franchise to do that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I don't know if there was I think it was some kind of creative difference or something, and he was just like, I'm not going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And then he moved on. I'm just saying, I think it was a mistake. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what contract or deal needed to be made or reached with Sly to keep him in the movie, or if I'm sure that was an option and you didn't do it. I think that's a stupid fucking mistake. Yeah. And I get that Michael B. Jordan or whoever's behind the studio wants maybe it to focus on Michael B. Jordan and not have Rocky be a distraction. But the reality of it is, it's never going to be. They're just not going to care about Creed. I mean, they're never going to really care about, Apollo was the same way. Carl Weathers was a badass dude, but it's Rocky. I mean, that's what people came to see. It's just never going to be the great value brand Rocky. It's just not.
Yeah, it's not going to be the
same.
And
I thought I was like, oh, what if they do something like, and this shit's been played out worse than a fucking NSYNC album. But I'm just saying, what if they did something where Creed becomes a bad guy, he gets too egotistical and caught up himself. They kind of did that in Rocky Balboa. And then Rocky has to come in and whoop that ass like he should have done in the ring with Tommy Gunn in Rocky 5. And then but see, if you do that, then it just sets up Rocky again as the unbeatable, but I would go out on a movie like that. I almost feel like that would be a redemption arc for what they did in Rocky 5, where he's a poor piece of hobo shit. and he fights Tommy Gunn out in the streets. If they come back and they just say, hey man, you take on Creed now, you take on Apollo's son, you're an old fucking fart of a man, but you go in there because he's an asshole now, you put him down, you knock him out, you go one more time, and then maybe have a heart attack in the middle of the ring and you die, but you die the champion.
I don't think you can have him fight Apollo's son. I think that would be like way too. I think that.
Well,
would
you do it in
cost-
Rocky Balboa. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got to do something crazy though. But that he could go out on the note, like he could go out as champion.
I think.
And then of course, Creed could apologize to him. I'm sorry, Rock, or whatever. They could have like a moment.
I think the only way to do it would be to just have him die in the movie, or like he wanted to fight Drago's son, or he wanted to fight someone in the last movie. Stallone did,
Drago
have like a street fight, and they didn't want to do it, but. And maybe that's the point of the contention for the whole thing. I don't know. But to just not... I mean, what's the worst part about the whole fucking thing is that from Rocky 5 on, he fucking lost all of his riches. He lost everything. He was back living in the streets. Not in the streets, but he was back, he was pretty broke, even though he had his restaurant. It was still sort of sad. Like, the fact that Rocky's storyline's going to end with where he was in life in Creed 2, like, he was happy, he was content or whatever, but, like, dude, he was a huge fucking boxer at one point. I would have liked to have seen him some way recoup his riches that he had from Rocky 4 and live happily ever after somewhere, or at least die after recouping his wealth. To have him just be like, oh yeah, he died or he fucking moved, that sucks.
That's that's why Rocky 5 is my most hated Rocky movie, period. And I think Rocky Balboa actually suffered for it. When you end Rocky 4 on such a high note and your champion, your hero, Rocky Balboa, goes out on that, he's defeated the monster that can't be beaten. He's, revenged his friend in Apollo. End it fucking there. Like, if you ended it there and that was forever the last Rocky movie, I'd been perfectly happy with that fucking quadrilogy. I'd be like, yeah, I like this. This feels good on my wiener. But the fact that you come back in Rocky 5, he's suffering in the shower, he's got a brain hemorrhage or an aneurysm, or he's having like problems, and then Paulie makes a stupid fucking investment deal and loses all their money. And again, he's living in a fucking hobo box, and his son's. I didn't like this whole fucking like Days of Our Lives super over the top drama. They were trying to bring it back to Rocky 1, where it was like a street guy having to get himself off the street again, but he never really did. And at the end of the movie, just fighting Tommy Gunn doesn't get you shit. Just like Tommy's manager said. I mean, he was telling the truth. He was like, "You losing everything, god damn!" Like, he didn't even get anything for it. Like, he got no money for that match. He would have made millions. He would have got back on top if he'd fought Tommy Gunn in the ring. I don't know. I almost feel like there should be a recut of Rocky 5. Like, give me a real Rocky 5.
Yeah, I would do that if they could do it. It'd be great. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think Rocky 5 fucked the whole thing up. I think it fucked the whole thing up. I can't say that I would rather have the series end in 4 after he beats Drago. Even that's like his defining moment after everything that happened. But to be fair, the only reason I can't say that is because I love Rocky Balboa so much. The whole storyline with him and his son, it pretty much fixed the shitty dad that they made Rocky in Rocky 5. They had to fix that in Rocky Balboa, Zack Snyder's Justice League sort of ways. And then the speech that he gives him in the street in Rocky Balboa, really good, when he's like, "That's how winning's done." Like, that could have been the best speech of the whole goddamn franchise. So I can't say, even though I know you hate the fact that he lost at the end of Rocky Balboa.
And I know he's old as fuck, and they were trying to set up that guy to be the next guy, and I was just like, I don't like that guy. I didn't like that guy in real life. I thought he was an asshole in boxing. He was an asshole in boxing. He wasn't even, he was good, but he wasn't like as good as they were making him out to be. And the fact that you're trying to put him as the next Rocky, I hated that shit, dude. And I know I think they even felt that too, because they felt it so much that in an alternate ending, he won. Rocky wins. So even the studio's like, oh, we probably should put something in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Egg Shin 6 says, "What is Mike doing?" I don't know. I'm doing the videos, man. I'm doing the live stream.
I think because your hands are like this. Maybe you're playing with your wiener.
Oh yeah, that's why I am actually playing with my
I knew it. We always, you got to find spare time to jack off. I mean, this is just when it happens.
I do that every stream. I don't know what's different. Daniel Scott with the super chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, man. He says, "You sexy fools are the best channel out there, and I'm so pumped to be attending my first live stream. Might be some rum and coke flowing."
There you go. Where's the rum going?
We got a fucking biscuit boy here throwing out super chats.
Big Papa Pump in the house. Scott Snyder.
Big pimpin' spending cheese.
Dude, you talking about one of the most intimidating motherfuckers of all time, dude. Big Papa Pump.
Yeah.
Woo-wee. If that guy gets mad at you, you better run, fucking change your social security number and your name and leave your wife, because you're fucking dead.
So your mom threatens you with when you're being bad in school. "Don't make me call Big Papa Pump." I was like,
and by the way, his Have you ever heard him talk about math, dude? It's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my
Big
life,
Papa
dude.
Pump.
Yeah, dude. He tries to get like he's like, there's 44%. There's 44% of dynamic, and then there's 72% 1/4 of 5%. It's like your fucking brain explodes, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but he's like, do you like me? I was like, yeah, I do, because he's so fucking scary. It doesn't matter. You're never gonna fucking question him. By the way, I was telling you those Mean Gene outtakes, you got to watch it. Mean Gene Okerlund was one of the best announcers ever for old school WWF and WCW. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and just look up Mean Gene's fuck ups and outtakes, or Too Hot for TV. Dude, they're the funniest shit. Dude, they have like interviews with Macho Man Randy Savage, the Iron Sheik, and all this stuff, and their fuck ups on the mic, and they never, made it because it was taped.
So they're promos.
Yeah, they were promos, but dude, because you know how some of those wrestlers really get into it and shit like that. He cracks up multiple times because it's just so funny what's fucking coming out of their mouth. One time, Iron Sheik spits on a fucking rooster, and he can't he was like, it looked like Hulk Hogan. He's like, it looked like Hulk Hogan. And he's choking he's choking his chicken, and like he can't contain his laughter. But Mean Gene had an interview with Macho Man, dude, and I guess Macho Man got mad because they were rolling. And Macho Man was supposed to be in the promo, and he walks in front of the camera. He's like, I was doing something, bang, bang. And he walks by BG. And then he was talking to BG about something. He threw an insult at him, and he's like, your mustache is crooked. And then he's like, yeah, well, your beard looks a little crooked. Dude, I don't know. It was funny as fuck. You got to watch it if you get a chance.
That's a savage thing to say. So like, your mustache is crooked.
That guy was intense, man. And if you talk to his woman, God be with you. You know that one back in the day, I never knew this was real, dude. Back in the day, there was a WrestleMania that Hulk Hogan, I know we're a little off topic here, it's wrestling, but I mean, back in the day, there was a WrestleMania that Hulk Hogan came out. It might not have been WrestleMania, it might have been some kind of other pay-per-view, but when he was still with WWF, he had a black eye when he came out from behind the curtain and he was walking to the ring, and a lot of people were like, what the fuck is going on? Where'd he get that black eye? I don't know. His mom
wife, wasn't it?
No, dude, it was fucking Macho Man punched him in the back behind the curtain.
For talking to Elizabeth?
What happened? Not well, kind of, but what happened was Macho was like, "You talking about woman, you kid." What he did was he went to Hogan and he found out that him and Elizabeth were having marital issues. Elizabeth was staying with Hulk's wife at the time. Hulk knew about it. Hulk was on the road. He wasn't there trying to get a threesome on or anything like that. He was on the road, but he knew that she was with his wife, like, doing girl talk or whatever and getting away from Mach. And Macho Man came up and asked him, he's like, is my wife with you or with your wife? And he was like, yeah, brother, but the Hulkamaniacs together will heal your... He knocked him the fuck out. Well, he didn't knock him out, but he punched him. And that's why he had a black eye when he came out that night. Because Macho Man punched him because he found out. That's so crazy what you fucking learn.
That's the least surprising thing I've ever heard, man. Like, honest to God, like if you ever like just feel like you ever get in those moods, like I don't know if it's like a Friday night like tonight, or you're just in a certain mood and you're like, man, I just want to go and I want to get fucking crazy. I want to get fucking so crazy. I want to just do some weird shit. The best place you could probably possibly ever go is the backstage at a fucking wrestling thing with all those dudes, because that like the fucking testosterone and the goddamn just energy levels got to be. Those dudes had to have the craziest nights in the history of the world.
The testosterone levels are so high back there that if you're a woman, you grow chest hair. I'm not kidding.
And they literally did. China grew a dick.
Yeah, she does. I'm sure. I don't know. But yeah, well, I see her porno. She didn't have a dick. But no, dude, I tell you what. Yeah, I tell you what. Macho Man was a crazy fucker, dude. That there's a lot of you look at some of those guys back there back in the day, the ones that we grew up with, and if there was one guy that I'd be scared to fuck to work with, it'd be Macho Man, because they were like, he was just too intense. Like even when you went out with a beer with him. Like they were telling the story about Macho Man, dude. They said I think it was Scott Hall that was talking about him. He's like, man, Macho Man was an awesome dude once you got a couple of beers in him, but he's like, he was so intense, he'd be like, I don't know why nobody likes me. And he was like drinking his beer at the bar. He's like, I don't know why nobody likes me. Why can't I get a woman? And then Scott was like, man, Mach, you look good, man. Like girls like you. He's like, no, they don't. That's how he was.
I think everybody's worked with that guy too. Like everybody's had to work one shift alone with that guy who's that fucking like weird and wild and crazy kids. I imagine it had to be fucking nuts, dude. But Macho Man's my favorite wrestler, dude. I mean, it's just the promos he does. Like he's just so fucking stupid, crazy, over the top. Like, oh, the cream's gonna rise to the top. Yeah, dude.
Macho Man,
I just love it.
He was the guy that I always thought should have got the big push. Like he should have been a world title holder, and he never got it. And I think they asked that Jim Cornette guy about that. He was like, well, the thing about it is Hulk Hogan was in front of him. I mean, that was just the way it worked in the business. They were never going to let Hulk Hogan put him over and have him become the major the madness. And plus, they didn't give a shit. They knew that Macho Man was getting all his money from fucking Slim Jim. So they were like, that guy's already set for life. I mean, he was. I mean, he was making bank, dude.
Missed
He went
opportunity.
to WCW, signed this guaranteed contract, and then on top of that, all that Slim Jim shit.
I think they missed what could have been his streak. Like, I think they missed his prime. Like the Packers are fucking up Aaron Rodgers' prime, but that's a different story altogether. I'll have to beat them to death with their own shoes. Greg Harris, thanks, buddy, for the super chat from a super sexy super guy. He says, "What's up, y'all sexy beasts? I'm hyped for Mortal Kombat and Halloween Kills. I'm drinking wine naked. Honestly,
I like that. God,
that's
Greg, take pictures and send them to us. What the fuck? Hold it out.
That's got to be the sex. Dude, you know how sexy you must feel drinking wine when you're naked? Like, wine makes you feel sexy anyway.
You gotta put on some Marvin Gaye.
Man.
You gotta have some Marvin Gaye and butter yourself up a little bit too.
Yeah, either that or 5 non-blondes. What's going on?
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Fucking drinking it in the bathtub, listening to
So
5 non-blondes.
maybe, and then at the end of the night when you're really get really drunk, put on some Annie Lennox, "Walking on Broken Glass." Walking on broken glass.
And you're just drunk with their wine glass, just fucking walking around. I am walking on broken glass in my life.
You realize that you took a shit ton of dick pics and put a collage on them in a scrapbook, and you're like, "Fuck, I was way drunk last night, wasn't I?"
Oh shit! How was everyone else's Friday night going? I hope it's going awesome. As I said earlier, I had some bad wings tonight, but other than that, it's going good for me. Gypsy Warrior says, excited for the Hulk Hogan biopic with Chris Hemsworth.
I am. I'm really looking forward to that because I mean I saw a side by side comparison. They were doing. It was like a little. I mean, it wasn't a video, just an image of him. I was like, you look dead on, dude. Like Chris Hemsworth looked dead on, fucking Hulk Hogan. So I can't wait. I wonder how far they're gonna go with it though. I wonder. I mean, because I guess Hulk Hogan would have to sign off on some of it. I wonder if they're going to go all the way up to the point when he really started going down, where, he obviously got caught with the racist thing. And then he also got caught with his, covering up for his son. Well, he didn't really cover up for his son, but that whole thing with Hogan knows best and all that shit, and where his career really started to tank, or if they're just going to go through his wrestling moments. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to cover it all, but
it's going to be weird because he does care about his kids, dude. Like, I mean, he had that reality show, and he had his daughter, Brooke Hogan, That
was the whole thing with him and Brooke was just fucking weird, dude. Like, that whole thing was way weird.
But it would be funny watching him walk out there in the morning fucking making eggs. That's Hulk Hogan just making eggs in your goddamn kitchen. Like,
well, I also wonder, are they going to throw in the fucking, the thing that Bubba Ray Dudley paid, let him fuck his wife and then filmed it? Like, are they going to bring that up too?
That's the thing. Like, do you go there? Do you where do you end that film? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I want to see it all.
Is it a hit piece? Is it going to be like something like they it could be one of those things where they paint him in a glorious light, but then they fucking really show you the downfall too. Yeah. But you have to end that somewhere. Like, what's your ending to the Hulk Hogan story? Either you end it before he got caught fucking that dude's wife on camera and had to be in a courtroom talking about how, no, this isn't Hulk Hogan's dick, this is Terry's dick. Like, that's a really sad place to end that. I don't have a 9-inch dick. Hulk Hogan has the 9-inch dick.
That's what happens when you get caught cheating. Credits. You're like, look, that wasn't my dick. Okay, that was my alter ego, Dick McGibson.
that was we watched a movie, Jay's dick.
That's not. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you understand? There's 2 separate characters that go on. Do you know what I'm dealing with?
It's J.A.Y's dick, not J.
You know what? Again, I don't know. I'm going to assume. I don't know if Terry Hogan actually owns the name and the character of Hulk Hogan, or if WWE retains the character license,
so they can just sue him for that.
Well, I know, but I don't know, because that was the whole thing with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash with the invasion angle, because they WWF owned the Diesel and the Razor Ramon characters, but Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were smart when they came into WCW. Like, Scott Hall was like, you know who I am. What you don't know is why I'm here. So it was pretty much wink, wink. I'm Razor Ramon, but they couldn't say it legally. And they still fucking tried to sue him. WWF lost. But I just wonder if Terry Hogan actually owns the character of Hulk Hogan. You would think, because he got his way, but he was on top of the mountain. Like, he had to get that.
He has to, dude, because if you think about it, like, we went to Clearwater a few years back, and he has like his own store. It's like the Hulk Hogan store, and they've got like a statue of Hulk Hogan outside the store, and it just sells, like, you could buy like a Hulkamania fucking bandanas and shit like that. Yeah. So I think he does own his own Hulkamania brand.
That would be the number one thing, because I know that Ultimate Warrior had to sue the fuck forever in court to get the license to the Warrior brand or whatever. He had to get that from WWF because that was their creation. So it took forever even to get that. But I mean, there's no way if you were on top like Hogan, you would have to sue for that. like the Hulkamania, the merchandise, all the shit you'd be missing out on if you just said, oh yeah, they can have it. I'll just go buy Terry Hogan.
Yeah, that's a weird that's a weird thing. I think he does own it though. He has to own it. Berto said Chris Hemsworth's getting yoked for the Hulk Hogan movie. Yeah, dude. And if anybody can get fucking yoked, it's fucking Chris Hemsworth.
You know what?
Man.
You know his brother's hating him every fucking day a little bit more.
First
you stole Thor from me, you son of a bitch, because you knew Joss, I treat people like shit Whedon on the set of Cabin in the Woods, and now you get Hulk Hogan on top of that. Fuck me in the ass.
You got to play your cards though. You know his brother's out there like, I'm the soft sensitive one. I'm the soft sensitive. Yeah, like he was in Expendables, was it? Yeah, he was in Expendables, and he was like, you know, I'm cool
in the Hunger Games.
I'm a sniper, because like he can't be like a fucking ass kicking dude because he's tiny. He's like, I'm a sniper.
Well,
I'm a really good sniper.
Honestly, if they had cast Liam Hemsworth as Thor, I don't think I would have. I mean, I wouldn't have known really. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered to me because they're both really good in shape.
Well, they're in shape, but he's like thin in shape. Like
he's thin-ish. Like, I don't know, because he probably have to bulk for him. He probably has to put 30, 40 pounds.
Yeah, Marvel hires you a fucking trainer. They fucking feed you like you get the Gaston
But
diet.
you don't imagine how shitty pissed off you'd be though. Like if somebody like swooped in and did that. I don't even know how that conversation went. Like, hey bro, you want to go like later on to go get some like baked wings at
you
BBC?
mean because he stole the role of Thor from his brother?
Like it'd be like Chris be like, hey bro, do you want to go get some VBC baked wings? Because I gotta tell you something. And he's like, what do you want? Because you never invite me out for baked wings.
You should.
All right, bro, I'm just gonna level with you. I stole the fucking part of Thor, and you're gonna have to always hold on to fucking Hannah Montana's titty for fucking fame.
Hey, it came in like a wrecking ball, you might say. He came in like a wrecking ball.
He probably wrecked that Vagini like a wrecking ball. But yeah, dude, it's weird. I don't know, because I always, dude, what would be crazy if they had cast Liam as Captain America? Like, because I'd be like, wow, dude, you got both brothers in there.
Yeah, he could have done that. He'd probably die.
I mean,
He'd be better
you
than
have him or Chris Evans. I mean, you're gonna have Evans.
Yeah, you're gonna have Chris Evans for sure. J800 model, ha ha ha. That's the best name ever. J800 model, ha ha ha, says, happy Friday, wham dudes. Anyone see Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Bruh.
Yeah.
He says,
yeah.
Kurt Russell's son Wyatt cruised it. His Cap character now has my attention. Crushed it is what he meant to say.
John Walker. Oh, dude, it's funny. I haven't watched the newest episode yet. I know that's Catherine Estrella had tagged me in on Facebook about it. I haven't got a chance to watch it. I'll tell you what, man. We discussed this a little bit last live stream that we had. I like it. Okay, it's not bad, and I do like John Walker as far as the comic character. I like U.S. Agent. I think he's a badass. He's fucking cool. He's an asshole on purpose, and I like that. But the thing about this character that's playing him, the actor anyway, I don't know, man. He just rubs me the wrong way. Like it's not. And I know that John Walker is supposed to be like that. He's supposed to be unlikable and like an asshole, but. Even so, it's like just as an actor, you would expect some kind of charisma to draw you into that character that you hate. Like, example, it's Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston, you didn't like him when he played Loki, right? But he had a charismatic, thing about him. I don't know, this presence, and so it brought people in. I feel like John Walker should be the same, but it's just not been there. So, but I do like that they're doing a lot with Baron Zemo. I do like that they're giving him more backstory and character, and he's developed and fleshed out a little bit more. I have to watch the episode 4. If John Walker comes up as badass, that's going to be great. And I don't like that suit at all. The new Cap suit, fucking no thanks. Yeah. Take that shit back to Kmart.
I haven't watched it, but that's what we were talking about the other night. I think it was before we did the commentaries. I said the same thing. Like the suit is. I've only seen like the stills of what he looks like as Captain America or the new version of Captain America, whatever, and the Baron Zemo thing. And again, I saw someone brought up a really interesting thing online today. They were like, Baron Zemo, the way that they painted him in Civil War was he was supposed to be like an original fucking average Joe that somehow had this figured out the Avengers secret and then went after them using it. And in this now, apparently they're trying to paint him as like some super fucking secret op that like was actually a super badass and did all that shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, that's how Baron Zemo was supposed to be. I mean, when Age of Ultron came out, Civil War came out, and they introduced Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo is one of the up there arch rivals of Captain America. This motherfucker is like devious. He is super smart. He can fight. He is like one of the bigger Captain America villains, and they just kind of like watershed him. I mean, he was only in there as a tiny figure to get this shit rolling, because the big story was Iron Man versus Captain America, and I get that, but it's such a great evil character that you just kind of passed over and you said fuck it. I'm glad that he's getting a chance to shine, because again, Baron Zemo is one of the coolest villains out there. He really is.
Yeah.
Baron von Strucker is another one. Baron von Strucker is another cool villain that they really didn't do much with Age of Ultron.
Is that the guy that they casted like Macklemore to do like jump flips in like Civil War, the beginning of it? The guy that was like flipping around doing deputies?
I don't know. I just know in Age of Ultron, he was the guy that was running. He's like, good talk, not was it?
Oh,
the guy with the little monocle, the glass monocle.
Well, see, even with him though, even with the main guy though, to me he just looks like a dad with a bowl cut who has like 6 kids at a fucking Steak and Shake, and he can't rile them up together long enough to fucking get his meal together. He doesn't look like a fucking bad guy. He doesn't look like anything special.
Well, I think that's the disarming thing about him, dude. They legit are redeeming that character. I mean, and again, episode 3 did a really good job. I hope it continues in episode 4. I hope that guy comes back, dude, because Baron Zemo, like, dude, you got to understand, like in the comics, he forms the Masters of Evil, and then eventually he forms the group, the Thunderbolts, to take on, and the Dark Avengers, like the bad guy Avengers. Like, he gets all the supervillains posing as heroes called the Thunderbolts, and they eventually have to fight the Avengers. It's fucking crazy, dude. It gets crazy as fuck. If Marvel goes that route, it's going to be insane. Because Baron Zemo becomes a Citizen 5, I think. He's got a cool ass suit. Dude. It's all like, anyway, like if they go the route that, like, I don't know. I like that guy. I do like that character, so I hope they continue fleshing him out.
What's your take on the Thundercats, though? I heard that Adam.
I heard about the Lino.
Adam Wingard, after Godzilla Kong, he's looking at possibly doing a Thundercats film, and he wants Ryan Reynolds as the main guy. And a Thundercats. I'm
100% okay with that. I think it's a perfect fucking blend of action and comedy if they're gonna go with that, because it depends on what they're trying to do with the story. If you're gonna make Thundercats like serious, which I don't think you should do, then you probably shouldn't cast Reynolds in the role, even though Reynolds can do serious roles. But if you're gonna try to make it a cross between like action and comedy and kind of put it together, Ryan Reynolds would be a perfect cast as Lino. I think it'd be great.
I don't remember a fuck all thing about Thundercats.
I remember parts of it. I don't remember all of it. I was more of a He-Man fan than I was a Thundercats fan, but I do remember I liked Lino. I thought Lino was cool. I always thought, like, what I know this is fucking stupid. It's like never-ending story-ish. I know, I get it. But how about this? If you took place in the 80s, right? And when Thundercats was at the height of popularity, it takes place in the mid 80s, and it centers around this kid, 1986 or whatever it is, or 1983, and he gets sucked into the television screen and he gets to become part of the Thundercats world. Like, it's a real world that exists.
So it's like Stay Tuned.
Yeah, the Stay Tuned, and it's kind of like Last Action Hero, but he has to.
Not Stay Tuned. What am I thinking of? The John Ritter.
Yeah, Stay Tuned.
The remote control movie, is that called Stay Tuned? Yeah, it is.
Stay Tuned. But he just gets sucked in there or something. I mean, he gets a medallion that looks like the Lino sword or something from a gift shop. I don't know, or fucking like an old antique shop, and he's rubbing it, and it's like he gets sucked in there. Like, we've existed for. I don't know. I know it sounds corny as fuck, but I'm just saying, like, I would balance it out in the.
It's
the
the fucking Thundercats. It's not exactly like, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know. I would do something like that. If you try to make it too serious, I think you lose a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, man.
But Ryan Reynolds would be good. I think Ryan Reynolds would rock the shit out of Lino.
Chuck and Renee Eggers, what's up? They say, sup, guys? Can I get much love? Can I get a Loomis shout out for Van? For Van. Ironically, we were just talking about Ryan Reynolds, Van Wilder. Shout out for Loomis for Van.
Hello, Van. Hope you're doing well this evening, this Friday. Hope you've stayed out of trouble. I hope you haven't caused too much goddamn commotion in the neighborhood. And I hope you get your life together, Van. You know why? Because just like that one fat fuck on Saturday Night Live said one time, you will find yourself in a van down by the river. Get a job. I don't care how old you are. 4 years old, 3, 1, get a job. Shut up. Have a good one, Van.
Dude, you really channeled on that one. You channeled Terrence Malick really good. Like, we've been watching Entourage, and he plays like an asshole agent, and he's like, Ari, let me tell you something. Like, is it Terrence Malick? That's his name, right? The dude, Imposter Loomis, the Loomis from Rob Zombies.
Terrence Malick.
Terrence Malick. No, that's the director. Terrence Stamp. What's his fucking name?
Dude. Shit, you've all fucked me up now.
I know. I got to look it up.
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McFucking-Dowell, not
Where the
Terrence.
fuck did that come from? I was like, I don't know who that
His
is.
Terrence in the show, is it? His name's Terrence in Entourage. That's why.
Yeah.
But he literally, dude, you got to watch Entourage because he plays an asshole character and he literally talks like he talks as Loomis. He's like, all right, let me tell you something. You know, he sounds exactly like that. It's great. But no, you channeled Malcolm McDowell there. For sure.
Well, dude, you know, it happens now and again. Malcolm McDowell is actually easier for me to do anymore. It was like, he goes, yeah, I read this guy's book. It was terrible. This doctor was like, yeah, I read that book. It was a masterpiece. Well, are we almost there?
Van is a badass name for a kid, though.
I do like Van a lot,
Congrats
yeah.
to you guys. That's an awesome choice. I am the Click Commander. Also, I am the Click Commander super chatted, and he said, Jay, sorry to ask, but what happened with you and your ex? How did you get over a breakup? Well, that's a loaded question. That's a
Who was
loaded
that?
potato. I am the Click Commander would like to know what happened to your ex relationship.
Oh, she got chlamydia from sucking too much dick and fell off a mountaintop. And then I just got over it one day. I'm not going to get into the whole details on all of that, but it's pretty much she wound up sucking off the whole fucking neighborhood like she was the goddamn carousel for all whores. And she cheated on me multiple times, even throughout high school, from what I understand. And I found out about this, but instead of confronting it and being a man, I became a pussy and tried to keep the relationship together. Therefore, it didn't work out that way because she thought she had all the power. Eventually, she kicked me out of the house, divorced me. She paid for it, though, fucking cunt. And then I moved on because I said, fuck that whore, and I hope your teeth fall out from all the cum that rot your goddamn roots out. Okay? But no, that's I just got over it. I don't know. It sucks. In reality, it was a very painful experience. It was shitty. It was sucky. It was bad. We'd been together for 12 years, married for 5. She did some awful things, and you just had to, at the end of the day, if you don't fucking get over it, if you let them win, then they're the boss of your dick for life. I don't know. That's my mentality. Was she was gonna move on. She was gonna do her best whore ever. She was going to be the bestest whore of all time. And by God, if she can do that, I'm going to get up out of bed and be my bestest fucking self I can be.
If you're going to do it, be the best.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that's how I got over it. It was just, you just got one foot in front of the other. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. And yeah, I mean, and I'm serious. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like if you're going through some kind of breakup or some kind of bad divorce, it really does suck. It's fucking terrible, especially when there's infidelity involved in it and any of that goes on. But the best thing you can do is realize that you're better than them. They're cunts or assholes, depending on what the gender is. I don't fucking care. They're assholes either way. And you move on. You gotta realize you're better off without them, and they were gonna do nothing but drag you down. So that's what you gotta do, man. And it will take a while. It doesn't. And sometimes you still get pissed off. Like sometimes I'm in the shower and I'm just washing my nuts with some fucking Zest, fucking soap bars. I fucking slap the goddamn wall because I just get that mental image of that fucking cunt sucking off the goddamn football team in Texas. Anyway. It only happens
I
now
like
and
to
again.
imagine that like this is like it's like a TED talk and they open it up for questions and some guy comes up and he asks that question and then that's your response and he goes, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
the crowd's like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was all jokes, but yeah, that's because I'd be like, next question.
I can see you wanting to I can see you literally wanting to go like, I'm not gonna talk about it. It just sucked, and then like. The fucking something just snapped loose in your goddamn brain.
Dude, that's exactly what would happen. It'd be one of those moments that I'd move on from the question. I'd be like, no, I'm good. And then like 25 minutes later when we're talking about Wall Street and the banking collapse, and that fucking bitch was the reason. You want to know? And then like, hey, guy, we're talking. This is 25 minutes after. Like, you shut your fucking hole.
That's why I was fucking dying, dude, because I saw your fucking brain go through I'm not going to say anything much about it. I'm just going to give a real PC answer here real quick. And all of a sudden you're like, goddamn, cut the shower fucking Zest.
Dude, yeah.
It's life, man. It's life.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm
life.
happy, though. I'm happy now. I got a good girlfriend. I'm having a good time. Everything's fine. I don't know what she's doing. Probably dying of fucking like again, chlamydia, hopefully. But that's all we got to hope for.
What a way to fucking subvert the whole stream right there. Boom.
Yeah, I didn't ask the question.
I know. I'm not judging. William McLeod. Hey, good to see you, man. Thanks for the super chat. It says, hey guys, been missing the live stream, so wanted to say hi and give you a little something for your beer, kitty. for the beer kitty. Love your faces. I thought he was calling us a vagina, which I would have been okay
We
with
are.
that.
I mean, we're drinking Michelob Ultra, but I mean, guess what? I'm enjoying Superior Light beer and having a great time being a vagina. Then.
Yeah, and Michelob Ultra's not cheap, so we appreciate it. It's
No, yeah, it's like you
pay
might.
for the Superior Light beer.
You know what it is? If you're gonna call you're a vagina, then you're the Ric Flair of vaginas. Okay, you're styling and profiling while you're throwing down that coin to get that high expensive beer. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But then again, I'll settle for anything. I mean, one time I used change to buy Natural Light because I had no money and I'm an alcoholic, so I'm like, I need beer.
it's like someone's like, you drinking Michelob Ultra, pussy? It's like, yeah, but I'm a fancy pussy, bitch.
Do one thing. One of the worst. It wasn't. It really. I was like, whatever. We went to this bar in Richmond, Kentucky, and it was what was it? Shamrocks? Is that what it is up there?
Yeah, it's a great bar. Great bar.
Shamrocks. And I ordered a Michelob Ultra because yes. And Mike ordered the IPA, and he was having a great time in IPA, and very
That's how I
impressive.
got my man tits.
Very impressive. Very stout. Very stout. Very stout choice, sir. And the bartender, instead of like, I'm a paying customer. Thank you very much. He comes up to Mike and he's like, sir, would you like another beer? And Mike's like, yes, I'll have another one. Thank you so much. And he comes over to me and he's like, would you like another water? Like in this snarky fucking way. And we were in there and there were people like they could hear. And I'm like, yes, as a matter of fact, I would. And I hope your fucking wife knows you got a small penis. Because I'm sure she does by now. Because I can see it. Anyway, that kind of shit pisses me off. It's like, yeah, let me enjoy my fucking Michelob Ultra, okay?
I can't say shit. I give you shit about it all the time, but yet it's like my fridge is always now stocked with Michelob Ultra. I don't know why or what happened or how you seeped into my fucking veins. It's probably that time we had butt sex, but one way or another,
Crisco oil.
I am now drinking Michelob Ultra all the time.
Man.
Now, when I go out and have a draft beer, I have a fucking beer, but
It's
at
smooth.
home, when you got like 2 or 3 hours you got to go through, it's Michelob Ultra because you can do more.
Look, the thing about Michelob Ultra is, and it really is true, it's smooth beer for me. It goes down real easy, like a nice smooth cum, no choking on it, no matter what your gag reflex situation is. So that's one, that's good. And two, it doesn't give me a hangover at all. Like it's weird. Every time I've drank Coors Light, which I started on Coors Light or Bud Light or any of that shit, I always have one of the worst hangovers ever. And for some reason, Coors Light goes down real fucking rough for me. It's like that mountain on the can. It's rough as shit on my throat.
Yeah. I do get some weird hangovers on Coors Light. That's true. Maybe that's why.
And then Budweiser's a fuck no.
Oh, Budweiser, it makes me feel like shit when I drink it though.
But if you get a 6-pack of Budweiser, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it depends. Like if I go out to dinner, and I'm not going to be drinking all night or anything like that, I'll have like a nice thick fucking like that's my choice. Like if I'm going to have one beer, my beer is going to be an IPA. Actually, more often than not, it's a brown ale of some sort that I drink. Tonight I had a Pilsner
like that brown
at
ale,
dinner.
huh?
Yeah.
Hey, open your butthole up. Let me take that diarrhea.
Yeah, I like a thick beer as just like one beer. But I mean, if you're going to be drinking for a while, you can't be drinking that shit all fucking night. You're going to get fat, you're going to get drunk, and you're going to get too fat and too drunk.
One of the worst. No, actually, it wasn't. It was just amazing how quick when you brought that Sam Adams Oktoberfest over for the first time, and I had that.
That was summer ale. Summer ale.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I had 2 of those or 3 of them. I was
Fuck
fucked,
you up, man.
City. I was fucked. I was.
Get you
Oh
going.
my god, that shit was steroids.
And that's
on
the
beer
middle of
steroids.
that's the middle of the road stuff, dude. Like that's like betwixt Miller Lite and like a thick beer. That's like in the middle. But
I like
it'll
Brandon
fucking do you.
Brandon Hughes like, I'll stick to crack. Thanks. Keep your fucking bullshit.
Every time anybody ever says crack, I always think of Wolf of Wall Street. He's like, I got a surprise for you. He's like, come on. He's like, for me? He's like, yeah, I got a surprise for you. Come out here. And they smoke crack. He's like, that's crack. He's like, I'm not smoking crack. He's like, smoke it. Just smoke it. And he's like, lions and tigers and bears.
Man,
I want to run.
I don't want to. I mean, I think I'm not gonna do any drugs for real, but like
never
crack
done
would
crack.
scare the fuck out of me because
No.
you're smoking a goddamn rock. You're smoking a rock and go in a see-through pipe, and then like you're like, and like it probably hits you, like it's like it's like inhaling Rocky Balboa to go down in your fucking heart and beat the shit out of it, and you're like, ah! And then you're fucking like dude, and then your teeth rot out. Fuck all that. Like
then
I
you
mean,
want
it's just
more.
too much.
I will never, ever, 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 the live long day, I will never, ever fucking try crack or heroin. I mean,
No, the only thing
it
I'm
sounds
looking
like that
forward to
should be a
doing is
general thing,
cocaine.
like,
Just cocaine.
been there. Not a lot.
Cocaina.
Not a fan.
Cocaina.
Not a fan of the cocaine.
No, I said you and I are
But-
gonna lock ourselves into like a Motel 6 and
I
just
would
fucking
do it. I would do it again with you.
Yeah,
alone.
we'll just do it together, and that's it. It'll be like fucking our own version of the Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, hey, do cocaine with me. Do
Yeah.
cocaine with me.
show me his check stuff for
And we'll have to call
$70,000.
April and
I
Katie
quit
to
my
come
job.
pick us up the next morning as we're like fucking walking in 2 different directions. One of us winds up in Chicago and the other one in LA.
We'd probably
Like, I don't know
kill
what
each other.
happened.
We'd probably die. We'd probably kill each other. if
Yeah, we
actually
would.
did
It would
It's
be
probably a
something
good thing that we
awful.
never fucking did it. Yeah, it's probably fucking it's a good thing we did. Thank you, William. Anyways, I don't know if we answered your super chat at all, but
You know what? Actually, I will go take. We're 9:48. We're 10 minutes off from the 10 o'clock mark. We do have a good show lined up for you. I was going to take a pee break real quick,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
before I go, Courtney Reed wants to ask for Michael to do a not Michael Myers, but you to do what do you say? Oh.
oh, she won't. You're muted.
Dick.
You fucking cunt. I know what you're doing.
No, he wants you to do Mark Wahlberg talking about no Nightmare on Elm Street news.
Okay.
So I will be back. You'll do that. I
yeah.
see you soon.
Happy to. Okay. Enjoy your pee times. Yeah, I tweeted this the other day, Courtney, that there's been no goddamn. Well, let me just say. The other day I was on Twitter and I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's all this fucking news about all this goddamn Snyder Cut, fucking goddamn Harvey Weinstein, all this bullshit like that. I'm thinking to myself, all this shit. I'm reading all this fucking shit about all this goddamn PC bullshit. I'm here at home. I wake up at 5 a.m. I do my fucking workout. I do my workout. I do what I'm supposed to do. All I want to see is some fucking Nightmare on Elm Street news. I want to see some fucking Nightmare on Elm Street news. And I can't get my Nightmare on Elm Street news? Why can't I get my Nightmare on Elm Street news? I'm a fucking peacock. You gotta let me fly. And then I look and there's nothing. I see that the fucking, the Wes Craven's estate has the fucking rights. They have the fucking rights. They came in there like a silverback fucking gorilla. They got the fucking rights. And I hear nothing. I don't hear a goddamn thing. I'm like, we got to outrun the wind? I just want some fucking Nightmare on Elm Street news. I want to see Freddy Krueger. I want to see his fucking blades. I want to say hello to your mother for me. Because Freddy Krueger had issues with his fucking mother. And then I want to see some fucking burnt crazy fist fucking squirrely fucking burnt face shit. That's what I want to see. They came to me the other day. They said, hey, why don't you make Daddy's Home 3? I said, I'm not going to make Daddy's Home 3. I'm not going to make Daddy's Home 3. You let me in your fucking house. Let me in your fucking house. I want some Nightmare on Elm Street news, okay? God. Fuck. My brother's going to be in the new Saw movie. Donnie. We got a restaurant together. It's called Wahlburgers. I can't actually say Wahlburgers in the fucking Wahlburgers accent without lying. I don't know what to do. Stop staring at me like that. Oh, you're welcome, Courtney, and I love you, and you're a great kisser, and you're wonderful in the bedroom. You absolutely are. Chucky Myers 78, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Hey, Mike. Hey, naked butt chips. Hey, Mike and Jay. I just want to let you know you got me through some rough times. Want to say thank you. Release Halloween Kills already. My first stream. Hey, little biscuit boy, Chucky Myers. Not making fun of you. That's what we call people when they enjoy their very first stream ever. We call them little biscuit boys or little girls. So everybody say what's up to Chucky Myers 78. Welcome to his first live stream. We had somebody else earlier. It was their first live stream as well. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight, and thank you for saying that we helped you get through rough times. Trust me, you guys have helped us get through it. We've talked about some of them tonight. You guys have helped us get through a bunch of shit as well. My dog is barking in the background. Hey, what is Thor going crazy about? He's losing his shit tits. But yeah, we're psyched about Halloween Kills too, man. And trust me, you guys got us through just as many, if not more, than we have you. So thank you for the kind words, man. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys, all 267 of you guys for being here tonight. Fucking awesome that many people give a shit what we have to say on a Friday night, and I hope that we live up to your expectations for your first live stream, because it means a lot to us that we do. Jose Velasquez says, I just finished episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's insane. Love you guys. Jay has watched up to that point. I've watched none. I can't bring myself to do it. I saw the suit. I saw the John Walker. I said, ugh! I can't do it. Jay's liking it so far, but he is a little disappointed with it as well. He'll have to let you know what he thinks about episode 4 after it comes out. We love you too, Jose. Thank you very much for the super chat and for being here tonight, my friend. Oh, sorry, we're a little bit late getting to the super chats here. Carrie Crownless says, Jay, you are better without the smell. I'll let Jay read that when he also check on Mike. He looks broken. I am broken deep down inside. I lost, I was bidding on eBay cards today and I lost one. And pretty much been pissed off all day. Kool-Aid Unleashed. Thanks, buddy. He says, sorry I missed the Wednesday stream. I finally watched Godzilla vs. Kong the other day, and it was very unsatisfying for me. I'd probably give it a 5, at most a 6.5. Let me tell you about Godzilla vs. Kong. And here's the fucking problem. The fucking problem is that someone commented the other day on our review, and they said, they were like, of all the people I expected not to give a curmudgeon fucking old white dude review, it would be you guys. Get over the characters sucking. It's a Godzilla movie. The characters have sucked since the beginning of Godzilla. And while I understand what he's saying, I also have this to say. At some fucking point, we gotta stop giving them a pass for making everything in the movie fucking suck except for Godzilla and Kong, or Godzilla or Kong. At some fucking point, should we not expect more when we're paying fucking $25 for the goddamn IMAX ticket and $28 for the goddamn popcorn and soda pops, and your kid's fucking crying, you gotta take them to piss while the fucking monsters are fighting in the first place, and you have to come back to Stellan Skarsgård's goddamn 18 words of fucking dialogue. Actually, I liked him in that movie, and that's probably not actually his name. But I just think we should expect more out of the characters. That's all we were trying to say, and I agree with you, Kool-Aid. I gave it a 6.5. I think Jay gave it a 7.
Blade Brown is the biggest asshole I've ever met. I can't hear you. I don't know what. Is Mike talking about his first butt sex? Am I muted too? All right, well, fuck you then.
I'm just kidding, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I was miming that whole fucking thing.
Hey, that IPA that I just had was great. Not.
Carrie Crownless said, Jay, you are better without the smelly pirate hooker. Much love and respect for dealing with it. Also, check on Mike because he looks broken. I think I just look old today.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you look normal to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
You're right. She did sell the high seas of whoredom. Her actual name was Captain Blackskank because she had a black vagina that was just dead inside. Anyway, it was all rot.
I'll catch up on the super chats and I'll take a quick breaking poo too. The captain, look at me. I'm the captain now. Ooh. Says, hey, Wham, cheers, you two sexy beasts. You guys should check out Baskin. It's an insane interpretation of hell that gets nasty. Definitely up your alley. Dude, when I was trying to catch up on reviews for that year, I almost watched Baskin like 12 fucking times, and I just never did.
What is it?
It's called Baskin. And it's got like a
dude,
fucked
I
up
swear, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I literally thought they were talking about Baskin 31, like Baskin Robbins.
I did.
Like, that's literally what I thought. I was like, did they make a documentary on it? Because, I mean, okay. Is it sweet? Does it have sprinkles?
I thought the same thing at first. Chucky Meyer says, I already read his. Sorry.
Somebody said you look backwards. I think you got your mirror thing on or whatever when you flip the camera thing.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with Mike? I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I saw someone said that you're like, it's like Mike got a grill on, like that you were trying to put in some fucking like a Machine Gun Kelly, like you were wearing some platinum grill.
I have no fucking idea.
I know he doesn't have one. What's that guy's name?
Is it because I'm wearing a fucking collared shirt for the first time since collared shirts were invented? Like,
I don't know.
Why do I look
Who's
weird?
the guy? Post Malone. He's the one with the fucked up platinum grill, isn't he? Doesn't he have a platinum like teeth?
Yeah, probably. But I mean, a lot of people. He looks like Andy Serkis was a rapper. That's what Post Malone looks like.
Yeah, he does. He kind of looks like a little bit of like a thinner version of the guy that was in Her Highness and Me, or the one that. What's his name?
Oh fuck, dude, I can't remember.
Come be gay with Father and I.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. He kind of looks like a thin version of Danny McBride. Like Danny McBride would be his like uncle / talent agent.
I could see that a little bit. I can see that a little bit. Hey, man, the super chats. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, when I do get back, we'll actually cover the Snyder Cut news we promised to talk about.
Okay. Well, Silver Wolf Society, you just threw a super at me right when Mike left. It was a question for Mike, but I'll go ahead and answer it. Mike, what you benching these days? About 5 dicks a day. That's a lot. That's up from his 2 dicks the year prior. So good on Mike. Practicing. I'll let him Gypsy Warrior. I'm not gonna answer that. No, it was terrible. It was fucking awful. It was like having sex with a corpse. You guys ever seen the autopsy of Jane Doe? It's like climbing on top of that and flopping around. It was terrible. That was like, it was like a X-rated film of the mannequin. She just laid there. It was fucking awful. And she was high as fuck anyway. Drunk. Tomo got to just us now, Jay. Yes, it is, Tomo. We're gonna have a good old times. A Blu-ray addict says Eastbound and Down was hilarious. Yeah, I've got to go back and watch that. It's been a while. I do like it though. It's some good shits. Troy Grubb says, "Hey, Jeb, buddy, how you doing tonight, buddy? I'm doing good, bud. I'm doing all right. Doing just fine. By the way, I'm serious. You guys, if you get a chance, I know there was a lot of wrestling comments going on in the chat there. Again, if you guys are old school like wrestling fans, especially in the like early 90s, late 80s kind of wrestling fans, you got to go, if you get a chance, check out those Mean Gene Okerlund fuck up tapes. Those are some of the best stuff. I swear to God, because Mean Gene is like, he was like the classiest dude ever. Like when he did the interviews, he was so classy. And then you could just, you hear him talking about like cock and fucking, he says, God damn, and what the fuck? Like it's crazy. Hello, Egg. How you doing? Diane said, Jay, did you watch that video I sent you yet? I haven't watched it yet, Diane. I am going to watch it. I swear to God. It's actually in my playlist on YouTube. I've got it saved up and queued. I just haven't got around to it, but I will watch it. I am interested in watching that to see how it goes down because I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. So to see anything related to that content is all about it. Todd Theobald, Mean Gene, you're goddamn right. But yeah, I'll get around to it. I've been watching, it's weird. Like I get in, like April and I watch true crime daily, and then we'll watch Franco Live, which is a ghost hunting show, and then we'll watch Nuke's Top 5, and then she'll go to sleep, and I'll play video games. It's such great stuff, but that's what I do. Gypsy Warrior, are you excited about Indy 5? Yeah, sort of. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I am. I love anything to do. If Harrison Ford's coming back, I'm not 100% sure on the news on that. Is Harrison Ford coming back? But if he is coming back, he's getting kind of old. Like he's starting to look kind of like Emperor Palpatine when he was like commanding the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. But he's still cool as fuck. When you put that cowboy hat on him, it's great. This belongs in a museum, Coronata. So yeah, but I think it's time. Like really, I think they should put Chris Pratt in the movie and pass the mantle along, or the whip, as you would say, to Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt could actually do a really good Indiana Jones if given the chance. Jerry E, thank you so much. He says, "Hey Jay, can I get you to yell at my brother Chuck as Loomis?" Yeah, Chuck, Buck. I don't know. Your brother wants me to yell at you. You know why? Because he doesn't like you. Mom never loved you. That's what he said. He said it in a private message. Fuck you, Chuck. Your name rhymes. Actually, you're named after that redhead little bastard child doll, Chucky. You're stupid. Your eyes are as blank and emotionless as a mannequin. It's ridiculous, Chuck. Shut up. Do the dishes, take the trash out, go to bed, and I will find your Skittle stash. You will not have it anymore. Quarantine is over, you son of a bitch. Time to go on the treadmill. Shut it. Close it down. Over. Done. Talked about. It's already in the journal. Good day, Chuck. By the way, I was informed earlier when Chuck and Renee were doing their super chat, and they asked us to yell at as Loomis to Van. Mike and I were confused assholes and stupid on top of that, because I thought Van might have been their child or something. Van was actually Van Thompson, I'm assuming, in the chat that we were yelling at. So dumb. I got cream on my face. Cream. I got egg on my face. Yeah, did you Chuck and Renee asked us to yell at Van in the I don't think that's their kid, dude. I think they meant Van Thompson in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, our bad. I just assumed that.
I assumed it too. I don't know. I was like, I just go with what I read. I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
My bad. Somebody said I look backwards. I unmirrored my camera. Maybe that's what I did. I was trying to fuck with settings earlier, and I did. Yeah. Sorry, Van. Sorry, Chuck and Renee, that you're unborn. Hey, if you do have a kid, name him Van.
Van's a good name.
Tonight. Yeah. Do it for tonight. Here's to the nights we felt.
Also,
alive.
Jonathan's a strong name. It means gift of God in Hebrew.
Oh.
You should go with that too.
Oh. Did you have you already answered the super chats?
They asked how much you bench, and I said you bench at least 5 dicks a day for sure.
Absolutely, I got to fit them all in at once. It's like a hot dog eating contest. Terrible, actually. Like I just went back to. I did chest for the first time in my return to the gym today, and I got like a shoulder thing. I was throwing a football one day, and I tried to fucking be super goddamn on, and I hurt my fucking shoulder. So now I can't bench nearly what I used to. But I'm bringing it back.
Yeah.
And you read
you gotta
Gypsy
watch
Warriors?
that shit because you fucked it. Yeah, I got Gypsy Warrior. You fucked up your arm last time. You do that again, man. You're gonna have that shoulder surgery like Cody did, and you're gonna be your shit's gonna be useless.
Yeah, I was doing it today.
You're gonna be like that one guy in what was it, The Lady by the Lake or The Lady of the Lake, that M. Night Shyamalan, that has that one fucking arm that's good, that's muscular as shit, and then the other one's all puny.
Quasimodo. That's how I still felt stupid as fuck at the gym. I was just benching like 245 plates, like, you know, just like the standard thing, and I was struggling a little bit. It wasn't because the weight, is because my fucking shoulder was hurting. But it's getting better. It's getting a little bit better. I know no one gives a fuck. Gypsy, oh, you already answered that one. Did you answer Jerry's about can I get you to yell at my brother Chuck?
Yeah, I yelled at Chuck.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Kool-Aid Unleashed says, what do you think about the cast of the new Resident Evil reboot? I personally can't see Robbie Amell as Chris Redfield. What do you think about that?
Robbie Amell?
Yeah.
His name sounds really familiar.
He's Chris Amell's brother. He was in the Arrow show. He was like the red.
Oh,
Arrow
that guy. That's Chris
shit.
Redfield. You know what? I would have to go back and look at who they've casted, but yeah, right off the bat, and I'm sure he's not going to look like, you know, goddamn one of the kids from O-Town, like he looked in fucking Arrow, when they cast him as Chris Redfield. But I always thought Chris Redfield was like a rugged, handsome dude, like I would say like late 20s, early 30s, got his shit together. He's probably a bastard, but he's rocking the shit out of that shadow, that shadow beard at 5 o'clock, that 5 o'clock shadow beard. I don't know if I'd really cast him because he's too youthful looking. But I mean, maybe, you know, he rocks the shit out of the role. I don't know, but I might agree with you, man. I don't think I'm really on that.
Yeah, everything I've seen out of it, I mean, apart from the casting, I don't know much about the casting, but everything I've seen out of it, just the fact that it's Scarlett Johansson, what's his name? Something Johansson, the guy who did the shark movie, and he did Strangers Prey at Night. He said.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he said he's going to take that Resident Evil movie and he's going to make it like the original games. He wants to make it scary and get away from the fucking super action shit. And I love that idea.
That interview was really on point, and that lady did a really good job asking poignant questions. Because one of the things that he did mention was that they're going to bring the mansion into play as well as the actual story of RE2 and have. And he got it because he was like, the mansion and the city itself are two different characters that he wants to incorporate into the story, which is exactly what you got to do. The Spencer estate, it's one of the best. That's because he said it's gonna get like, that's the spookular, like that's the fucking super scary shit when you go through the mansion. Like you don't know what's gonna be around the corner and shit, and it could be bite your fucking face, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know, I was just opening a door. You almost became a Jill sandwich, Barry would say, but. Yeah, that I'm glad. Like, dude, I think it's in good hands, man. I can't wait to see it. That shit comes out in November, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember the release date for it, but I'm with you, dude. I'm just excited to see something other than, as much as I love fucking hot ass Mila Jovovich, I'm excited to see something other than fucking, her as Master Chief, like doing triple double backflips and John Woo and people with guns. I want to see a scary fucking Resident Evil movie. Yeah.
JT Custom says the title is called Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Yeah, it is. And I think that's a good title. I think that's a sound title if you're going to do a reboot of a series, where they fucked it all to hell with Mila Jovovich. and she's like a superpowered Neo running around, flying around, and no one gives a shit anymore. That's a good title. And again, I think you're going to get the mansion and you're going to get the Raccoon City. All this could have been avoided if they had just been smart. Again, we're getting ready, and this actually leads into a segue. The studio had kept their fat fucking fingers out of the chocolate pudding and let them make the right movie.
Keep your fingers.
They would have had George Romero's script for Resident Evil, which included the mansion and stars. It was a 2-hour and 20-minute blockbuster fucking hell yeah extravaganza. But no, the studios got to be the studios, and we got to get that paper. So fuck you, make it under an hour and a half.
We did a big ass script review of George Romero's original Resident Evil script, by the way, if you guys want to check that out on the channel. Okay, we'll knock out the super chats, and then we'll actually get to the news we're going to talk about tonight. As you said, Cody Buchanan said, Jay, since you don't like jump scares, do you not like haunted houses?
My man, does the fucking tide come in correctly? No, I don't like haunted houses at all. Ever. Fuck no. I don't want to go. Look, everybody wants me to go because they think it's funny to watch me almost poop my pants. And sometimes I do. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I might have some kind of cardiac arrest. Everybody's like, as my fucking soul is leaving to the heavens. And I promise you, if that's the case, I will haunt every motherfucker that got me there. Yeah, dude, I don't like that. And I really don't. There are certain haunted houses that are really cheesy and not well put together that you can see from a mile away. Like if college kids or high school kids put it together, I'll be nice, be like, ooh, but I don't really care. But some of those things, like those extreme fucking things, hell no. Like if they run at me and they've got the thing where they roller skate and they like slide on the concrete and the shits are sparking and they're fucking waving around Catwoman whips and they're like, I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go back and drink some more. I can't deal with this. Yeah, dude, it's just yeah, I don't want fucking Cardi B to come at me.
Well, we had an idea a couple of years ago, and we still haven't made it come to fruition. Maybe this Halloween we will, about buying a glow-in-the-dark camera. I don't know how much those cost or where to get one, but we were going to buy a night vision camera, and we were going to talk to a couple haunted houses about letting us go in and filming it for the YouTube channel, giving them a plug, and let us live stream going through a haunted house and watching Jay and I go through it together. Because like as much as I like, and it'll be actually fucked up on both of our parts, dude, because I know I make fun of you, and like we laugh about how scared you get at horror movies. I don't get that scared at the jump scares and stuff like that. They don't bother me the way they do you. I am scared to fucking death of haunted houses, dude. I hate them. I fucking hate them just the exact same way that you do. When I go through, I have to hold someone's shirt, dude, because I'm afraid I'm gonna get lost. I will hold the fucking person. I don't care if it's a guy, girl, whatever. I will hold their fucking shirt and walk behind them like a little bitch. I hate them. So that'll be funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. You were the one pushing that fucking let's go to Waverly Hills goddamn garbage. And I'm like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I want to go, but I mean, a couple brewskis, you'll be all right. We'll be
okay.
No,
but I don't think you're allowed to even go in there if you're fucking drunk because they'll be like, no, fuck that. You're a fucking liability.
They don't have to know.
They'll smell my breath. I'll have to get so drunk I'll stumble in like
I just bought some cinnamon Trident
from Andy Griffith's show.
I just bought some gum. I'll save it.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah, the haunted houses are terrible. I don't know. Yeah, and I know everybody wants to see us go through it, and it is what it is. I think it'll be the first time ever, like you'll catch a goddamn, like I'll faint. I think I fucking faint, dude. I know what that kind of feels like when it's coming on, and when it's coming on, I'm not gonna stop it because I'll be right in like a haunted house and all that smoke and those fucking epileptic lights are going off. I'm gonna fucking fall on the floor fainting, and they'll be like, emergency stop, emergency stop.
Silver Wolf Society says you guys should kickstart Leslie Vernon 2. Get into the producer game. Let's fucking go, baby. You know what? I think the best job in Hollywood, if you have money, is to be the producer. And that, I guess, I can't say it's my goal. I'm too old now. But if I could go back and do everything again, I would maybe, obviously, it would still do the channel. But I would love to be a producer would be the coolest fucking thing ever. But you have to have money to be a producer. So maybe the channel gets really big.
If I could go back in time, I would be the best motherfucking beautician that anybody ever saw. And my name would be Magnifico.
Speaking of which, if you want the channel to get big and you want the channel to do good, we hear that when people click the like button, it helps the ratio of the videos a lot.
That's true.
We've never asked people before to click the like button, but I think we should start doing that. So if everybody in the chat enjoying yourselves tonight, or even if you're not, just throw us a bone. Click that little like button. Just takes you a second. We'll appreciate it. Maybe then we can produce Leslie Vernon too, because we'd like.
Even if we're doing, under mediocre comedy for you, and you don't find any of these stories interesting at all, and you just want our fucking faces to explode like leftover grenades in Vietnam. Well, guess what? That'll happen eventually if we keep drinking. Our livers will anyway. But it'd be nice. We're fighting against the system. A like really goes a long way. Yeah. YouTube YouTube does not fucking like us. They will not recommend our videos.
No.
We, it's surprising that we even get new sexy members in here, and we're very happy for each one that comes in. But if you don't see, that's what happens. You choke on a cock. All the work you put in, and you're stopped by a fucking little algorithm. It's ridiculous. But no, it really is true though. Mike's not lying. The likes do really stack up. They really do add. And, it's nice that somebody's like, oh, this was recommended. I was looking up Michael Myers hair tips. Like I got a Michael Myers mask, and I was trying to figure out how to make his hair right.
I was looking
your
at
video
Michael Myers
up.
extensions, and your video popped up. Yeah. Randomly movie takes. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
No, I'm just saying it really helps. So that's all.
No, it does. Yeah. So please do that. We appreciate it. Randomly movie takes says, "Hey Jay, can I get a Loomis shout out for this nasty ass Michelob beer money? Haha, you guys are awesome. Thanks for saving Friday nights."
What do you mean, nasty ass Michelob beer money? What do you mean? Like, is that what you're doing? You're taking it and spitting on a Michelob Ultra? I'll tell you what you need to do. Take it and spit it on an AA meeting, you son of a bitch. You come and talk to me about Michelob Ultra? It's not Asian tea. No, not even a little bit. You've got a problem. You're super chatting on a goddamn social media platform called YouTube, talking about Michelob Ultra money. Where's your mother? Where's your father? Shut up. Take your ass to AA. All right? I don't want to hear your mouth. You know what? You become a dredge in my underpants. That's right. You're shit. And I'm going to take a dump and forget about you.
Big Bopper
Have a good one.
Says, "Did you?"
I actually don't even know if that was an insult or not. By the way, I just want you guys to know, if you guys are new here, and I don't want somebody just popping in and hearing me scream at somebody, that's a character. I don't really hate you. I'm just being mean on, like, that's what you want.
Don't worry.
So I get nervous about that, because you always think a prospective like person's gonna come in like, oh well, these guys are going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then they hear, you fucking son of a bitch cunt. I'm like, all right, well, I didn't know I stumbled onto Nick Nolte's fucking anger management therapy, but I'm going to bounce out.
Peace. Big Bopper says, "Did you guys get my other super chat about Rocky? If you didn't see us answer, I don't know if we did or not. They disappear after a while. If we didn't, if we missed your super chat, email us. We watched the movie, the2@gmail.com. We'll start the next stream with him. Sorry, we try to keep with him as best as we can. But he says, and would you smell Michael Myers' burnt fingers from Halloween 4?
Probably smell like fucking straight asshole and mud.
Smell like the tire center at Walmart, but
dude.
with death and dead dog on them.
The tire center, dude, I love the smell of fucking tires, dude. I used to go into like Sam's Club and just walk through the tire aisle and just, like, I was Jeepers Creepers guy, and I would take it all in, like I was Zod, like conquering. I love that smell, dude. But yeah, I think that Michael Myers' fingers would smell like a mix of like chemical blood, butthole, mud, and like a little tiny bit of urine. I don't know. It'd just be this weird intermingled, like fucking nasty smell.
Yeah, it smells like burnt plastic. Like, and also, like, not only has he taken those bare hands and he's eating dogs with them, so it smells like dead dog. It smells like dead human.
He doesn't wash. What if he does though? Wouldn't it be interesting to find out if he does Dial soap? If he goes to his kitchen, just has Dial.
Michael's not going to wash his hands, so it's got that weird copper blood smell. It's got that weird dead dog smell. Do not want to smell Michael Myers' fingers.
You know what? I would
for $20 is $20.
I might do it to throw him off.
Yeah,
like if Michael's getting ready to kill you, and you suck his finger. Like if he's like this, and you're like, ooh, yeah, and you're like, ooh, he might fucking like drop the knife and be like, what the fuck? And you're like, what?
It might smell it, Jay, not if you suck it.
Oh, I thought he'd be like taste it. Oh, never mind.
Jay's like, no, I wouldn't smell it, but I suck it though.
Hey, but that's a good thing. Hey, that's a good
Michael
defensive
Myers
mechanism right there. Look, if he's getting ready to stab you, you got to do the one thing he's not expecting, right? You suck on his fucking fingertips and make a fucking moaning sound.
It would throw you off if you're gonna murder somebody,
dude,
and you're just like,
even Michael Myers would be taken back. Like, yeah, dude, you gotta be like, oh, like that. Like even Michael Myers is gonna take a drop step back, maybe drop the knife out of pure shock and like give you one of these, and then you can run away for safety. Yeah, of course you're gonna have fucking gum disease or something after sucking that finger.
He would literally cock his head. You suck Michael Myers' finger, he'd be like,
dude, tell me, hey, they should teach that in self-defense class. Look, if you run out of all options and exhausted every possible escape route, suck on a finger or like lick them on the face or something. Like it'll be like weird for them, and they might fucking get freaked out. I don't know.
Derek B says, Jay looking hot tonight. Mike looks, well, you know what? I've been
he peed on your face in the toilet once.
Yeah, you did. You did do that. And I gotta tell you something, Derek. maybe if I was in a
Am I gonna pee on your
bathroom,
face for real?
I would have better lighting on my face. Maybe if I was in a bathroom, you would think I was more attractive because we all know what Derek likes to do with other men in bathrooms. But anyways, aside from that point,
I think he wants to suck on your fingers, Derek.
you can. $20 is $20.
I feel so dumb. I meant to smell like anyway. Well, that just ran off with the conversation. I didn't mean to suck on the fingers. Who says that? That's stupid.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Okay, we've cleared the super chats. It is time for us to get into the news story and the only news story of the night. It is a thick one, though. It's a big, thick one, and you're going to enjoy it because we're going to get a little pissed off. I feel like here. Did you read this already? Have you already been?
Yeah, I
through
did.
it?
It's a long one. It's a long one. But you know what? I gotta give it up to the Hollywood Reporter, man. They put some good articles in, man. I gotta be honest. I always thought they were kind of a Streisand, but they're rocking the shit on the fucking interviewing scene.
It's true. They are. This one comes from Vanity Fair, but same thing. You know, Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, they're all bigger, more important than we are. I get them confused all the time. But Vanity Fair, Vanity French fries.
I remember my first beer.
Vanity Fair did an interview with the original writer of not just Batman versus Superman, but also Justice League, the original, when it started, the way it was supposed to be. And also he is the writer of Zack Snyder's Justice League by proxy. You see their faces there. Superman's going, "Why did you do this to me?" But so I've highlighted the most important parts, and it's still very long, all the shit that we have to get through. But let's take it piece by piece.
It sounds like when you're having. Never mind. I was gonna say that's like when you're trying to have oral sex with a girl. It's very long and it's complicated. And you don't know if it's gonna work.
Your tongue's gonna hurt, and
it's like it's a complicated step, and you're like, "Are you done yet?" And 25 minutes go by, and they're like, "No, keep going." I'm like, "Son of a bitch, my fucking tongue is getting numb."
It hurts.
It really does, dude. You feel like you have to deep dive an omnibus of vagina sucking.
The little thing underneath your tongue, that little thing,
dude,
feels like it breaks off at some point.
One time, I thought my shit was gonna I thought I broke it. I thought I was gonna go in the mirror and it was gonna stretch down like Gene Simmons. I felt like I had fucking demonic my tongue because I had been trying.
It's when you got to go Aquaman on.
Anyway, that's so weird. That's talking about a segue into a news story.
Yeah. Anyways, so being poured oral sex and now Justice League. The first interesting thing he said was the 2017 theatrical cut. And this is Chris Terrio. He wrote Argo, an Oscar-winning movie, and then went on to write Batman vs. Superman and then Justice League. He says the 2017 theatrical cut was an act of vandalism.
I like that.
May be too much of a gentleman to say that, but I'm not. I'm a dirty little whore, and I'll say it the way it needs to be said. It says Terrio first joined the DC universe to rewrite an existing Batman vs. Superman script, and what he goes on to say here is that Ben Affleck has actually asked him. Ben Affleck asked him to come on when he was brought on the film. He worked with him together on Argo because, as you know, Ben Affleck directed that. And he said, Chris Terrio, hey, can you come on this film and can you do some character work? Can you beef up Batman's character? The ideas of who Batman was supposed to be were already there, but he asked Terrio to come on. And you're asking an Oscar-winning writer to come on and write on a Justice League movie, which is pretty fucking rad, right?
Yeah.
Good choice. Good decision. But he says... so he talks about that, how Ben Affleck had him brought on, and then it says the screenwriter was frank about trying to make sense of the film's warring heroes, turning their fight into a metaphor for a divided America. This is Batman vs. Superman we're talking about. He turned the fight into a metaphor for divided America while attempting to fix elements he too found nonsensical or offensive. Studio officials then demanded that 30 minutes be removed. Warner Brothers demanded 30 minutes be removed from the theatrical cut of Batman vs. Superman, most likely because shorter run times mean more daily screenings, often resulting in higher box office numbers. And he said that act sabotaged the narrative. He says, if you took 30 minutes out of Argo, as they were for Batman vs. Superman, it would make zero sense at all. Critics would say, what a lazy screenplay, because the characters don't have motivations and it's not coherent, and I would agree with them.
Yeah, man, I like the guy that he's coming out and he's speaking his mind and he's pretty much telling you this studio involvement, I gotta sell fucking kids' toys at McDonald's and Hardee's. That's pretty much what the studios are doing. And, it's always been hush hush, but it's pretty much known that this is what Warner Brothers has been doing for a long, long time. I mean, you look at something like their success with 1989's Batman, and not as successful, but still successful follow up Batman Returns, but then you start getting into the kid shit with Batman Forever, and then full blown fucking cartoon selling that motherfucker at Hardee's with the balloon, Batman and Robin. The studios, man, these people that run the show, they get so fucking caught up in like the worst type of advice that like, no, they don't like it. I'm like, what do you mean? The kids don't like it. I'm like, who the fuck are the kids? They shouldn't even be seeing the movie.
I give the guy huge props for coming out and saying it how it is. He's like, they're trying to sell fucking Happy Meal toys. And that's what they did. And that's what this script was. And I came in and tried to change it. But oh my God, does it get fucking deeper than that? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is how bad shit was with Batman versus Superman, which is what Jay and I have been saying since the beginning. They fucked up Batman versus Superman. They cut out 30 minutes of the movie, and it made everybody in the audience confused as to what the story actually was. They took out all the deep, nuanced elements. And of course, when it came out, critics were like, oh, it's shittily written. If the studio takes 30 minutes of dialogue, because as he goes on to say later on, the studio takes out 30 minutes of dialogue because they're not going to take out VFX sequences. They leave those in. They only take out the dialogue. And everyone's confused as to what the hell's going on. It's not because it's shittily written. It's not because it's shittily directed. It's because the people steering the ship at the studios are full of shit. But it gets so much worse than this.
Yeah.
He says, going on. He says, talking about what happened with the Snyder Cut. Now, this is a damning thing for Warner Brothers in itself, because if you don't know, Warner Brothers and HBO Max are sort of separate in a weird way. He says on Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's sort of a gift that we got from HBO Max because it wouldn't have been possible a few years ago. That's another telling sign that HBO Max came in and they said, Warner Brothers, you guys are fucking shit up. We have this new little division. We're going to do this. But then he says, that is the thing about this version of Justice League, that none of it was done cynically or as a money grab or as an attempt to sell Happy Meal toys. It was really just personal for me and for Zach and for many of the actors. That goes back into what Jay and I were just talking about them selling tickets. But moving on, it says, how did you feel about the version that Josh Whedon assembled after Zach left the project? And he said, when those personal touches were removed from the film of the 2017 version, I was silent because I couldn't really say anything, but of course it hurt. All that remained was a dinosaur skeleton of what had been a great lumbering beast.
I love that. I love that description. I love that description.
Me too, dude. It perfectly explains the difference between the two movies.
And here's the thing I want to add on really quick. This dude is speaking from the heart straight up. Like, this is a guy that really put a lot of time and effort into bringing justice to these characters, and to watch this motherfucker get gutted by a studio that just wanted to sell fucking toys and goddamn Happy Meals, as he's pointing out, has got to be gut-wrenching as shit. Like, it really has got to be the worst thing. If you put a lot of, because you know how long it would take to write a script that huge, and the fact that you were brought in first with BVS, and they already had a script in place, right? And you had to come in to rewrite it because Ben Affleck asked you to come in and rewrite it because he trusted you because you wrote Argo. And you got this whole fucking, you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do. They got like crazy shit. And then you got to rewrite this whole fucking thing, right? And then they come in and gut it afterwards. Here's the thing on top of that, too. He even goes on, and I'm sure we'll get to this. He even goes on to say it wasn't even his fucking idea to put Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice as the title.
That's in there.
He left it untitled, but he's careful because he's like, I don't know if that was Zack Snyder that came up with that or what. Yeah. But it probably wasn't. It was probably marketing guys because they got to get Batman and Superman in the title to sell the fucking ticket.
What's shocking about everything we're about to read to you guys is it's exactly how the fans envisioned it took place. I mean, from the title to the we're trying to sell toys to the we want it to be more Marvel. What you'll find out as we read this article, it's exactly what the fuck Jay and I and other fans have been saying that we thought was taking place behind the scenes. They were fucking Zack Snyder as hard as they possibly could. For what reason, I don't fucking know. It's embarrassing.
It's kind of like when you know your dad's cheating on your mom. Like, I promise I won't say anything, but I know the truth.
I feel like a lot of people on set felt that way. Yeah.
Shut up. And a Miata.
But he said all that remained was a dinosaur skeleton of what had been a great lumbering beast, which I agree with you is the best explanation of what the Snyder Cut actually ended up being, a lumbering beast. He said it might have been a big unruly beast, and obviously it's 4 hours, and the movie is maximalist, and it's operatic, and sure, it's a little crazy, but I think the movie is crazy in the best way, and completely fucking agree with that, by the way. But when they ask him about his approach to writing the film, he says this. He says, I came into it thinking the only way that this would work is as a fever dream or of a revenge tragedy, talking about BVS. He said, I thought, how do we create a story in which Bruce Wayne is traumatized by the War of Krypton coming to Earth, as you saw in the beginning of the movie, and in which he enters into this kind of madness? He becomes Captain Ahab, and he won't listen to saner voices like Alfred. He's like, do you want to start a war?
I love that.
For example, who are telling him to just see reason. He's a man possessed. So the film was dark by its nature. It was meant to be dark. It was written as a dark movie. That was the heart of the fucking movie. And you can't just rip that out and say you want it to be fucking Marvel. Because this is what happens. You get a fucking Frankenstein piece of shit.
I wonder, like, at what point, like, other than the people that were making this magic happen, you know, Zack Snyder, the writer, the actors that were involved with BVS and later Justice League, that they're like, you know, we want to be something different than Mickey Mouse Fuck Club. We want to be something like our own, like our own identity, you know, like that. No one thought, like, you know what, it's not going to work though, because Warner Brothers has always chased after that dick that Disney has left trailing in the suns. They want to be Disney so fucking bad. They want to emulate and copy every fucking thing that Disney has done. And as later on in the article we'll mention, they're the ones, the Warner Brother executives and Warner Brother Studios are the ones that came up with the order of how the movies were going to come out. Yep. And the writer here says that Wonder Woman wasn't even written yet. And he had already finished Justice League. And they're like, no, Wonder Woman comes first. And then they're the ones that figured it out. Look.
Yeah. They literally stuck their dick in the mashed potatoes and spun them around. And that's why you got mashed potatoes that taste like wiener.
Yeah, like just fucking dirty old sausages.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers, like, look, they put out some really good movies, and they're no better or no worse than Disney. I mean, they really aren't. But the thing about Disney is smart enough to let their fucking creative directors fucking run the show. And they, you know
they
why?
Did fire Edgar Wright.
Well, they did fire Edgar Wright,
Scott
but look, they're a billion. I mean, their Marvel movies are $1 billion fucking properties every time they put one out. I mean, let's just be honest. Like they know how to fucking create an actual cinematic universe that makes sense.
But on the contrary, though, the idea is that if you're DC, you should hire directors with different visions, and you should let them fucking cook in the kitchen.
I think it's because what you have in Warner Brothers is you have the same executives over there in Disney. It's working for Marvel. That's working for Marvel, but Warner Brothers executives are the same as the Disney executives. They're trying to copy each other, and they're like, well, I want the success that Disney is having. The thing is, they don't understand the gold they've got right in front of them, butt fucking them in the ass, because the dark reality that Zack Snyder and team were bringing was actually what fans were excited about. It's like you got the WWE, you got the WCW. You got these two competing companies. You got one side of it, you got the other side of it. They had their own identity, but these executives are so fucking bent on the idea to just copy and paste.
And as far as who's actually running the show here, it's not even Warner Brothers. It's fucking stock Wall Street people.
Yeah, they own it. I mean,
which
they're
we'll
stockholders.
We'll get to. He literally unveils the curtain on this here in a few minutes, so we'll get to that. But going on, he says, so the film was dark by its nature. It seemed to me the movie was a snapshot of what I was feeling on the ground in the country. Again, this was the writer of the movie, kind of the heartbeats of the film. He says, which maybe didn't become apparent until the madness and division that came from the last presidency. I thought this superhero movie could be about us getting into our worst natures, but then coming out of it into redemption, which is what you saw with Ben Affleck being so broken down, coming out of that. That makes sense. They said, what did you want to avoid? He said, I didn't want to make it into a sitcom joke that Batman and Superman are trying to kill each other. If I'm going to work on this movie, it's going to be dark and operatic, and it's going to be uncomfortable, which is exactly what everybody fucking did not want outside of people who were not basically just licking Marvel's asshole.
And look, I get it. You know, I know there's arguments out there. I'm sorry, I burped. I burped really loud, kind of. I'm sure you heard it. I did. It came through my nose and it burned a little bit. But the thing is, I get the fact that Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and all of these characters, they are rooted in comic books, and, you know, kids love them. They grew up on them. I get that. And that, you know, obviously kids would like to go see them, but there is nothing wrong with here's the thing, the kids that supported those comic books, and the reason why those characters stay today relevant is because those kids grew up to be fucking adults with wallets. and they're the ones going to your fucking movie and buying your fucking movie tickets.
Yep.
So who is your actual target audience? Is it mom and pop with their 5 fucking kids from the Duggars coming to see you, or is it that schmo, that 35-year-old schmo that goes to the comic book store that tells all of his friends, hey man, you got to check out fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League because it's fucking badass, and gets everybody hyped up about it? Now who's your target audience, and who do you want?
Why is it that R-rated action movies and what did so well in the 80s and 90s? Why? Well, that just like that didn't exist. That didn't fucking happen. Going back to what he said before, literally Warner Brothers said, we are fine. This is how stupid they were. They said, we're fine with taking this movie that's 2.5 hours long, Batman versus Superman, and cutting out half an hour of the dialogue so that it makes no fucking sense to the audience because we're short-sighted and we're worried about making sure the show times get in there. When what happened, because they did that, they took out 30 minutes to make sure they could get maximum show times. And in return, the critics shit all over the movie because they made it make no fucking sense until the ultimate cut came out. And then when the critics gave their opinion, nobody went to fucking see it. So you trying to get more show times, you can have all the show times in the fucking world, but if you're showing a fucking turd on the goddamn screen, nobody's gonna go see it. But these people making hundreds of thousands of dollars can't fucking understand that, and those are the people running DC, which is why we are where we are now.
You're so cute. You said hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't you mean hundreds of millions of dollars if they butt fuck everybody else that works for them?
That's what I meant to say.
No, actually, yeah, it's true. It's so weird, man. It's so, I swear to God, I wish I had the money of what's Jeff Bezos, the one that owns Amazon. I wish I had that money to walk into fucking Warner Brothers and be like, hey, guess what? I just bought your fucking company.
Slap
Fuck
the
you.
dick on the table.
Fuck off.
Tell
and I
how
throw
it
my
is.
dick right on the goddamn table and be like, guess what? I'm hiring Zack Snyder back. Everything is going to change. Everything.
You're fired. You're fired.
I would come in like fucking Thanos, dude. I really would. I would snap my fucking fingers. These bitches be gone. Yeah, it really is sad. And I think I saw somebody say it's a really sad day for DC. Because look, you already had Ray Fisher coming out and accusing you, and now you have the fucking writer of Justice League coming out and saying the same thing. Something's got to change, guys. I mean, that's really the reality of it. I'm not like, Warner Brothers is a goddamn huge corporation. I'm not gonna rage at a corporation, right? But there's people up there that run the fucking thing. You got to get a clue. At some point, you got to get new blood in there that understands the pulse of the people. And you got to have one clue, one time to be like, you know what? Let's do something different and let's go our own way.
What if we concentrated on making good movies? And then when we make the movies good, people go see them. And then when they see them and they're good, they tell other people about them. And then they tell 2 friends. And then they tell 2 friends. And then they tell 2 friends. And then it's a successful movie. What the fuck is so goddamn cocksucking, butt fucking hard about that?
Mike, I think that you're wrong because you smoke too much crack. Stop telling logical things.
Ryder says, lift me for my annoying day, thanks. And to you, good sir, you do the same for us, believe me.
Thank you so much.
But they talking about what we were talking about before, about the title. Even the title, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, was a point of contention
so bad
from the get-go. We haven't even gotten to Justice League yet, guys. He said, how did things develop from there? I wrote drafts of the Batman Superman movie, which wasn't called Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
He didn't name it.
By me. I did not name the script. In fact, I found out what the movie was called along with the rest of the world on the internet. I was not consulted in the title of the film, and I was as surprised as anyone.
How fucked up is that?
I would not have named it Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I heard it and I thought it just sounds self-important and clueless in a way, tone deaf. The intention of the film was to do something interesting and dark and complex, not quite as Las Vegas, bust them up, WWE, fucking Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. And that's the thing. They don't fucking, like, they're not paying any attention to the movies the people are fucking making. They're literally not paying any attention to the actual product. They're only worried about how they're going to sell it. If you look at the movie and sell it, if they had sold this fucking movie, Batman vs. Superman, from the get-go, it would have changed everything. If they'd have sold Batman vs. Superman as a dark, complex, different version, not Marvel, for adults, smarter fucking comic book film, people would have known what to expect when they went to the goddamn theater. It wouldn't have been such a shock, and you wouldn't have had such shitty fucking reviews, and you wouldn't have had such angry audiences, and if you left it at 2.5 hours and said it was supposed to be complex instead of trying to say it was fucking Marvel, you'd have had a fucking hit on your hands. We wouldn't be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. It would have came out 3 fucking years ago.
Yeah. I think, again, it just goes back to the fact that these stockholders, these investors, these executive producers, they listen to the minority group that don't watch the fucking movies. They don't give a shit about the fucking movies. They don't give a fuck about, they want to make sure, like, is Superman in red underwear? Is he in red underwear? Is it lighthearted? That's what they listen to. And I don't understand. I don't, because look, money talks and bullshit walks. And at this point, if anything else, it should have taught Warner Brothers, these fuckers that run their mouth on social media platforms and constantly bitch and complain and go and review brigade the, BVS on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, which these fuckers did, and they try to downvote it because it's not a Marvel movie. These fuckers don't pay money to see your fucking movie. They don't care. They are not the ones that you should be impressing. You should be impressing motherfuckers like me, motherfuckers like him, motherfuckers like you, everybody fucking else, because these are the people that buy the fucking tickets, the ones that have supported DC, the ones that have supported the comic books. And even if you didn't support the comic books, you still want your fucking dark, gritty, goddamn, I am not gonna take it anymore, Joker. Alfred, make me some tea. Michael Keaton, Tim Burton, Joker, or dark Batman. And that's what you're gonna get.
And to be fair, had they made a Marvel type movie to begin with, had the movie been a Marvel type, bright, sunny, comedy, whatever type of movie, right? Had they made that movie to begin with, and then Warner Brothers wanted to market it as that movie, fine. But I don't even think they watched it. I don't even think they watched the fucking dailies. If you'd have watched the movie they made, you would have promoted the movie they fucking made. And if you promoted the movie they fucking made, people would have known to expect the movie you fucking made. And then reviewers would have fucking reviewed the movie that they expected to get in the first goddamn place. And on we fucking go.
And for a second there, you actually look like the executive producers when they were listening to anybody giving them a good idea when you turned your back on them. But yeah, exactly. My point, that's my point. The point being is, look, I know that nobody in social, Warner Brothers or nobody's going to watch this ever. But here's a fucking key reference for you guys. The shit that people say on Facebook, the shit that people say on Twitter and on Instagram or TikTok or any of that fucking bullshit pussy 21st century goddamn garbage, they are not the fans. They don't give a fuck if your product does good or not. They just want to be heard and they want to make sure their shit goes the way they want it to go. That's it. Your job is to impress the people that buy your fucking shit, that buy your merchandise. And this also goes to the Disney Star Wars owned fucking people too. It's the same fucking argument. I really feel bad for this guy because he came in with the right kind of attitude. He came in here and he's like, I'm going to make a badass fucking script. I'm going to work with my friend Ben Affleck and I'm going to work with a good guy named Zack Snyder that gets what I'm trying to do. But guess what? These fat fucking morons from Warner Brothers said, nah. We got to sell McDonald's toys. Nah. It's not good enough for a 10-year-old, so we can't do it. Are we fucking following Disney's dick trail? No. Well, we got to fix that. We got to make it bright. Look, they tried that shit when they did Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. It didn't do a goddamn thing except fucking tank at the box office. So if you want to appease those assholes that fucking tell you your movie sucks, then guess what? Just follow the fucking breadcrumbs all the way to the bad box office loss that you had with Superman Returns. End of the day, I really feel bad for this guy, and I want to continue reading.
Yes, as we go further into the dark depths that there is, because there's much more darkness to go through. I'll go through this real quick, and it's self-explanatory. We all know this. How did you feel about BVS when it was released? And he said, you can't skip on the character and think the audience will give a shit about the VFX. The stuff was later restored in the extended version. Obviously, you can't remove 30 minutes that give the characters motivation for the climax. The film just won't work. Going on to it being released, let me look at this real quick. He said the movie was always going to be dark. Talking about Batman vs. Superman again. There were always going to be people who didn't want to see that version of the comic book world, and I get that. But what hurt was the criticism that the script was not coherent, because when I turned in the script to the studio, which they, by all counts, were happy with, it made sense. Again, this is another case of Warner Brothers looking at these artists, that's what they are, they're artists, and saying, we love what you're doing, you're doing great, and then backstabbing them at every fucking turn, which is what they were doing. He said, and talking about Zack Snyder, he said, Zack never for a second turned his back on me or doubted my work. And this next part I want to say, because I feel like it's important when you look at the scope of things, when you're listening to people say, oh, it's just a bunch of fans crying and a bunch of fucking babies about a movie. Fine. And if you see me ranting and raving, and you see Jay screaming, the reason that we're screaming, I'm not that pissed about a fucking movie. It's a movie. the reason that it makes you want to scream and fucking grab someone and grab them by their big fat head and say, I'm not going to jail for you or anybody, is because it's so simple. Like, it's such an easy thing to do. And these fucking dumbasses are like, I don't understand how people don't get it. But anyways.
Well, I mean, I think it's because these characters really mean something.
Yeah.
To people. Okay. I mean, I do get passionate about it because they actually mean. I grew up reading comic books. I fucking read these things when I was bullied in school and shit. They fucking helped me.
Yeah,
and the fact that you just take a shit on them and they're just throwaway fucking characters because you can make $1 off them. I mean, you know what? Fuck off, dude. Like, I mean, you don't have the fucking. You shouldn't even have the honor to touch these characters. I mean, these characters have survived for decades, and there are fans that have gone to the lengths to keep these characters alive. And you fucking like, dude, I fucking hate Hollywood in a way that is so goddamn venomously. I wish I had the money just to make a new Hollywood and say fuck it and get the rights to all these good comic book movies. And yeah, but that's why I get passionate about it, dude. And I was never even. I was always a Marvel guy. But the DC, like these characters, man, Superman and Batman, fuck you for like just trying to drag them through the dirt.
And it's not just that, but it's almost like when your favorite team loses a sports thing. It's like, like people make fun of you, like, oh man, I'm really depressed for a couple days because my team lost in the playoffs. What you don't understand is that, like, when they lose, it's another chance for you to see them win a championship. And you don't know how many chances you're going to get in your life about that. Like, some teams go 40 years, 50 years without winning a championship. Mm-hmm. So like when you're on the cusp of that and you have a chance to do something special and share that with the people you love who also care about that, and then it gets taken from you, it hurts. It hurts. And that's why people get so indebted in sports. And I think it's the same thing for movies. If they fuck up this, if they fuck up doing the Doomsday storyline, they fuck up doing all these big storylines that mean so much to people deep down. I think deep down fans realize I may never actually see that comic book on screen the way it's supposed to be. It might happen 10 years after I die. It might happen 50 years from now, but they had a chance to do it. And the fact that they fucked it up based on dumb shit, like just some guy who's probably never watched a fucking comic book movie in his life, it sucks. But mainly what I'm saying is the reason people go so fucking nuts for shit like this is because you got to remember, it's not just Zack Snyder. It's the hundreds of people on the crew. It's the actors. It's all these people who had their visions and their work shit on for stupid fucking backdoor ass reasons. And this is kind of an example of that, what I'm about to read to you now. He says, talking about how it affected him and what his relationship was with Zack. He says, Zack never for a second turned his back on me or doubted my work. After Batman vs. Superman, many of my Hollywood friends just stopped talking to me because they sort of thought that somehow I was complicit in this very public failure of a studio film. You learn very quickly who your real friends are and who your air-kiss Hollywood friends are. Zack could have not been more supportive and never stopped believing that together we were going to create this big epic DC world. He said, I went into such a depression when the film was taken away and rewritten, but I didn't even feel entitled to be depressed because Zack and Debbie, his wife and co-producer, were dealing with their family tragedy. Measured against that, losing the film that you wrote seems like nothing at all, but it did hurt. It hurts to think that I cared so much about these characters and worked on nothing else for a very long time. And that right there is the reason people are so fucking passionate about what happened in this movie. The guy, Zack Snyder himself, lost a child, and instead of doing the right thing or any of this shit, they backdoored him and they fucked it up 1,000 times worse than anything else before. And they are still to this day blackballing him and not releasing the numbers for his movie because they know that they were fucking good and they don't want people to say that they were wrong. There is some deep, dark fucking shit going on here, man. I mean, really.
The fact is, dude, it's not even, it's the fact that they don't care. Like, let's just get to the bottom line. They care about brass taxes. They don't give a fuck about your family tragedy. They don't give a fuck that people have followed these characters for decades on end. They don't give a fuck how much money you've spent. It's the bottom line, the brass taxes. How much can we get off your dumb, silly, fucking moronic ass to throw the money down on your stupid fucking kids, take them, get their goddamn big old bag of popcorn and be like, woo-wee, Superman and red tights, woo-wee. Yeah. That's what they want, because you know what? You're fucking stupid, and that's what they bank on. They bank on the fucking stupidity of you taking your kids and making them money to do that. That's what they tried to do with Superman Returns, but when people rejected that idea, they somehow blamed it on something else. Oh no, it was Brandon Ruth. It was the script. It was something, you know, it had to be the director. They don't want to face reality. And the fact is, that's the company that unfortunately has these characters. And Warner Brothers, look, if there was a wake up fucking siren for them, it would be Zack Snyder's Justice League. The amount of money that it's made for HBO Max alone, the amount of goodwill that it
Which
has
they won't
generated
say.
throughout the
They won't
social
release the
media
numbers for
networks.
it.
Yeah, the fact that they have gotten on the good side of fans should be enough for them, right? That should be enough to be like, you know what? This is some good shit. I like being this. I like being number one. I like giving Marvel a run for their money. But instead, they won't do that. Now, we're going to have fucking Blue Beetle.
It honestly feels like Josh Whedon is running the entirety
That's
of Warner
smart.
Brothers.
Good job. That's
William-
a smart idea. Let's have fucking Blue Beetle.
William Long says it was wild how Terrio. Thank you, by the way, William. Appreciate that, man. He says it was wild how Terrio said the very original BVS script was too dark for even his taste, and he tried to inject some idealism in there. And Warner Brothers said it was too dark. He was too dark of a writer. I don't think Warner Brothers even knows what Warner Brothers wants. That's the truest shit ever. And we'll get to that because that's a part of the story too. I'm gonna kind of speed through this a little bit because I don't want to, this. We're very passionate about this. We can go on all night about it.
Yeah, I got to take a pee really soon, too.
Yeah. Okay, let me go through this real quick. But I pointing out that last part, I mean, this really affects people's fucking lives, man. It's not just some fucking joke, like talking about the depression, all the stuff that's going on. But when they talked about how did you feel when the journey ended prematurely with Justice League's upheaval? I'm sorry, I read that part. But he said... pretty much obvious stuff that Warner Brothers fucked up Batman vs Superman by taking out 30 minutes of the movie. This is really interesting. What he said about this goes back into what William was saying there. There was a line that Lois said in Batman vs Superman where she said, "I'm not a lady, I'm a journalist." And he said, so one reviewer held up this line as proof positive of my stupidity and my inability to write Lois or write at all. Well, the character of Lois in the movie was inspired by the journalist Marie Colvin, who was, of course, killed in Syria. She was one of the most intrepid journalists who ever lived, in my opinion. And there's a story in Vanity Fair, Mary Colvin's Private War. And the line that Lois says is almost exactly the line that was in that article where a Chechen warlord said he wouldn't shake her hand because she was a woman. Marie Colvin replied, "There is no woman in this room, only a journalist." So that line was my tribute to her. But then in the pylon, a line like that is held as proof positive that I don't understand women or journalists or human beings and that I'm a shitty writer. And that goes to show you right there. All these fucking people saying, no, you need more inclusivity, you need this and this, you need this and that. This guy went out of his fucking way to write a line to honor an actual journalist who went through some real life shit, and they fucking trashed it. I don't know. Trashed it.
Here's a fucking hot tip. It's called subtlety, you dumb bitch. I mean, that's what it's called. It's called subtlety. You don't have to fucking blare out on a megaphone, "This is a political statement. Can you hear me?"
Thank you.
You don't have to do that. You can actually write good characters, good plot lines, and good story moments that are, trying to get your point across without being a blaring, loudmouth fucking moron Karen from Twitter screaming about it. So...
Thank you. Exactly. That's fucking well said. I couldn't say it better myself. He goes on to say the studio seemed to take this position after Batman vs. Superman that my writing was too dark and that this was their problem. This was the fucking problem, right? He says, but what they didn't mention was that, for example, in the draft, the Batman Superman script that Warner Brothers developed, the draft I was handed when I joined the project, Batman was not only branding criminals with a bat brand, he also ended the movie by branding Lex Luthor. The ending was a point over which I explicitly went to the mat with the studio again and again. I argued that Batman cannot end the movie continuing this behavior, which amounted to torture, because then the movie was endorsing what he did. He said it's one thing if Batman begins the movie as a dark version of himself, who we don't recognize, but he has to see the error of his ways and remember his better self in the course of the movie. By the end of that movie, he needs to be the Batman we know. He has to be ready to go and create the Justice League. Otherwise, I said, what's the point? This guy...
Don't call it a comeback.
They said this... People are saying he was too fucking dark. Warner Brothers was saying he was too dark for the movie and that the movie was his fault because he introduces some complex thinking moments into the goddamn film. But they wanted to end the movie with Batman being more evil than he was at the start of the fucking movie.
I don't know. In that particular instance, if the movie had ended with Batman branding, Lex Luthor's fat, ugly, social network bald head on the back, I've been fine with that. I don't care because I don't like Jesse Eisenberg anyway. So I've been fine with that. I think that, I get what he's saying, though. You got to have a redemption arc for Batman because Batman, like I feel like if you go to the extremes that Batman was going in BVS, where he was branding criminals at that point, like, at some point there's going to be another roadblock that he's just going to throw away. I'm going to kill people. He's like, well, now I got to get the job done no matter what. So if I shoot one guy or something, it'll be okay. I don't know, but it would be interesting. It would be interesting if you'd kept him getting more and more kind of extreme, like a Punisher, and then having Superman come back and save Bruce Wayne. But that's a different movie. Yeah. But I get what he's saying.
And I think the most damning thing that you'll see here, and by the way, Dustin Adams says Zack Snyder is the director of this universe deserves, and we completely fucking agree
100%,
with that.
yeah.
Absolutely. To me, this is the most damning of the entire article. Absolutely, bar none. This what I'm about to say explains exactly what fucking Warner Brothers has become when it comes to these movies. He's talking about what happened after BVS, how the studio reacted, and when Justice League was set up, the kind of situation they were in. Yeah. And he says, right before the time of Batman Superman, or I got my timelines confused, but anyways, he says, right before the time of Batman Superman, I was asked to attend an event in New York where the cast and filmmakers were paraded in front of a room of investors at the Time Warner Center. I guess to convince them that their money was in good hands. These guys were in charge because they controlled the money at the very top of the pyramid. They were making big decisions. Not the film executives we're talking about, but Wall Street guys. One guy who I can only describe as the man who Central Casting sends you when you're trying to cast douchebag number one, pulled me aside and started to tell me how to write Batman.
That's the worst, man. God damn. I could only imagine.
Dude, I mean, like, that just says it all. He says, I'm not naive. I know that if you don't want to have any back and forth with the money people, then you should write poetry. Because you don't need hundreds of millions of dollars. But something about the distribution of power at that time just seemed off to me. It was removing even the pretense that capital wasn't calling the shots. He said, I rewrote Justice League to lighten the mood a little bit, which became Zack Snyder's Justice League. Mm-hmm. That's a slightly lighter, less dense version of the script, which I was fine with. I'm sane, and I will play ball with those kind of notes. But
well, you think about this, man. Like, you'd put all that effort and time in to really bring something to life with BDS, all right? And then you go to these fat, fat cats, at Warner Brothers, these guys that just really control the industry, the fucking kingpin, right? In Spider-Man, these fat fucking guys that just have like gold, like a diamond tipped fucking staff when they walk. And this guy
spending
pulls you
daddy's
over.
money at Wall Street.
Yeah, and this guy pulls you over. He grabs you by the arm as he's drinking champagne. Like, I read your script. It was great. By the way, did you get out on the fucking green tonight? It's a good, nice, good breeze of 70 degrees. I got to 17 holes. I won. Anyway, I'm going to tell you how to write Batman. I look at Thomas Wayne as a go-getter, and Bruce Wayne as the recipient of that go-getter attitude. Maybe what you should do is have Bruce be a little bit happier with the fact that he's inherited Wayne Manor. I could just imagine, if you're coming in there with a Megadeth t-shirt on or something, like, you're just a fan of these characters, and that's your job was to write this, and then they march you around like, they fucking, like, you're a piece of shit, like a piece of property to be looked and stalked at. And these guys come up and tell you how to fucking write characters that you've been probably spending months researching and going into more depths than they probably know Adam West Batman, and they're going to tell you how to write it.
Or like they watched a fucking Marvel movie. They watched Winter Soldier yesterday and went, I got a big meeting with DC tomorrow. I'm just gonna fucking tell those people exactly what this is, what it needs to fucking be. It needs to be this.
You ever think of Shooter McGavin like just runs that board?
Yeah. Exactly, dude. That's the embarrassment of it all. And I think, again, and that's the last part I'll read about it. He goes on to talk about all the crazy shit that happened. That's the last I'll read of that. But let me
say earlier to you really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like earlier. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm confused.
Like earlier. No. Yeah. Like, I mean, I just say, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, about that thing that we talked about earlier. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, maybe I want to try some baked chicken wings, bitch.
But no. Okay. Yeah. No, like that to me is the perfect point to end the news article on, to end the whole rant on, to end the whole stream on, because, like, here's the thing. The fact that you've got a writer for a movie who goes in, and this is pre-Batman versus Superman. He goes in, and Warner Brothers is so corrupt, and they're so fucked up that They're not even executive producers running this meeting. They're not even people who have anything to do with the movie industry that are running this meeting. These are super douchebag Wall Street fucking people that are telling them how to make these fucking movies. And Warner Brothers is putting the actors and
They're
writers
literally spreading their butt cheeks
in
and
a
letting
room
them fuck them.
and spreading their butt cheeks and making them spread their butt cheeks for these fucking Wall Street fucking people to tell them how to make the movie. If that is not a fucking symbol of exactly why DC and Warner Brothers is in the fucking shithole that they're in, and why fans are doing the release the Snyder Cut, release the fucking Ayer Cut, release the fucking Snyderverse. These are good people who want to see something good happen, who realize a wrong has been committed, and they're writing it. When Chris Terrio fucking said that's what was going on behind the scenes, it was number one, the most fucking obvious thing, but you don't even think it's going to be that fucking sinister and that backwards. I feel like I'm watching The Big Short when I read that. It's embarrassing.
I would love to have Chris Terrio on the show to pick his brain a little bit. I really would. I think Chris Terrio could like really give us an insight if he came on the show to... You know, I'm not trying to plug our shit. Like, I'm not like, oh, let's reach out to Chris Terrio. But I get him, man. Like, I get, like, Mike and I both understand him. Like, the fact that you spent all this time trying to make a badass fucking story and had all this pressure on you, and they just come in and they fucking gut it like nothing. And they say, good luck to you, fucking Sally Jim. You're not employed anymore. I don't like that at all. And, you know, we didn't get to the art. You guys should definitely check out the Hollywood Reporter. On this,
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair. The Vanity Fair article. It's a great article. It goes into a lot more detail than we're gonna share on this live stream. But one of the main things I took away from it, and you know it's fucking bad, when the writer of Justice League, after the tragedy that occurred with Zack Snyder and his family, he gets taken off the project, and he says he gets to watch the 2017 Josh Shitten version of Justice League. Calls his lawyer immediately and says, take my fucking name off of it. I don't even want my name on it. And then they're like, oh, why didn't you do it though? Because your name still appears on it. It's like, well, because too many things had already been happening. You know, they'd already, developed the film. And if I had done that, then they would have to go back to the basics and would delay the, and it would have been an international incident. So he's like, no, fuck it. He's like, I didn't want to get the actors and everybody else in more trouble than they probably already were.
Yeah.
So, but that's bad. I mean, the last time I remember that happening, I mean, I'm sure it's happened before, but the last time I remember a writer just being like, no, I don't want my fucking name on that. That's not even close to the movie I wrote. Stephen King, The Lawnmower Man. The Lawnmower Man, when it first came out, it was Stephen King's The Lawnmower Man. And he saw that and he watched the movie and he's like, no, fuck that. That's not even close to my book. Take my name off of it. And they did. Yeah. But yeah, man, I feel bad for that guy. And I'm glad that he came out and he talked because, and again, I don't want us all to go and brigade Warner Brothers and all this stuff. Because look, if you do it too much, maybe they don't make a fucking another goddamn movie again. Or with DC.
I think the hope with all this, I think the hope with people like us ranting and raving and the internet and Twitter going crazy and all this stuff like that, and all these articles, Ray Fisher the other day, Chris Terrio yesterday. I think the hope for all this stuff, man, is that it's not to attack anybody or it's not to like unleash a mob, because we all know how that happens. You've got a tiny,
we're not like singling anybody out.
Yeah, you got a tiny faction of pieces of shit in any community, and that tiny faction of pieces of shit is going to go and they're going to do stuff it's embarrassing, like review bombing Godzilla Kong. What I think the point of it all is, I think what people are hoping for is that it'll create enough of an obvious explosion that people will look at it and go, instead of bombing people with shit, like going after and attacking them, it'll make the studio go, wait a minute. If somebody in their right mind in that studio, whether it's Walter Tsushima or Walter Hamada or whoever it is, to go, wait, this is wrong. What happened? Actually, you know what? I want a fucking investigation into what happened, because what this guy's saying and what this guy's saying and what happened on screen, this is all making sense. And I want to know why the fuck that happened at this fucking company.
You know what I want
to fix it now. And I think that's what we want. We want the people that are in charge to fucking handle it. And rather than having the internet have to fucking handle it, because that's unprofessional shit, Warner Brothers. You're a giant goddamn movie company. Fix it yourself. Don't make people hashtag it to death.
I think all I want is Zack Snyder to be in control of the Snyderverse. I don't, you know what? I honestly, and this might sound selfish, and this might sound like, because everything that's gone on with Warner Brothers, I would forgive and forget if they gave Zack Snyder the Snyderverse and said, here you go. You guys, you got the keys to the kingdom. You do whatever you want with it. We'll back the fucking bill. There you go. But we're going to continue on our journey with what we're doing. I would be like, you know what, Warner Brothers, fucking be you, motherfucker. Go out there and be fucking free. I'm glad that you gave Zack Snyder the controlling, creative direction now.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Look, you're never going to get that's why the Zack Snyder Justice League almost didn't happen. Is because it's a studio admitting they're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and that's hard for them. Like, these guys, look, you got to remember, these fucking 12 individuals are like the bad guys of every fucking Hitman game you've ever played that run shit. Okay. I'm wrong is not in their vocabulary. They don't even know what that fucking word means. So if you're going to get them to admit I'm wrong, you might as well ask the sun to become the moon. It's just not going to happen. But at least
move forward, right? Move forward the right way.
I feel like, and the reason why also that we have continued this preaching on the Zack Snyder Justice League, it was such an injustice done. It really was, man. It's like, the version that we got of Disney's Avengers, Marvel's Avengers, like, what if that never existed? What if it was some cut up bullshit that you never, it was just garbage. It was terrible. And then you saw the actual cut, like the one that we got in the theater, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? I feel like everybody would be like climbing the ivory tower, demanding answers. But, it's like nobody gives a shit because it's, I don't get the mentality.
They're purposely blackballing it. Why do you think that the Suicide Squad trailer came out last week, right? It came out right after the fucking Snyder Cut released. They released the Godzilla vs. Kong numbers. They didn't release the fucking Snyder Cut numbers. They released the Black Adam.
Yeah, I saw that,
Like, they are purposely trying to bury, they're continuing to do
they want
this
it to fail.
Dark shit. And it's like, guys, like, fucking, like, it's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourselves, and we can all see you.
And I can't put it on Walter Hamada. I really can't. I think Walter Hamada, and I'll be honest, I don't know the man, and I can't really say anything against him because I don't know him. I've never had any interaction with him. Ray Fisher had some, but I've never had. It just seems like he's a mouthpiece. He seems like a figurehead, a puppet from the actual people that are the creative control.
And apparently it's Wall Street who are actually in control.
Well, they are. I mean, they're the controlling interest because they're investors. I mean, and look, and here's the thing. What's really sad is the fate of your favorite comic characters and their universe is in the hands of fucking Wall Street billionaires.
Yeah.
That's the reality. I mean, that's it. And you think if you look at these motherfuckers on Wall Street, if they know one fuck about Batman or Superman or any of the other characters, you've got another thing coming to you. They know that those characters sell and they can get money off lunch boxes.
Hey,
that's what they know.
But hey, man, Disney and Marvel's the most fucking investor saluted.
Disney and Marvel,
and yet still they have some sort of leadership that can dive through that and give both what they want.
Because
why can't you, DC?
You know what Disney and Marvel did? Disney and Marvel did a smart thing, and they compartmentalized their company, and they put one guy in charge of their destiny as far as their film goes, and he's done a great job for them. I mean, he's doing awesome, and that's what they did. But see, DC, like, it's so funny. They want to suck the cock of everything that Disney Marvel does, right? They want to make sure that every movie they have is exactly like Marvel's, but they didn't do the one smart thing they should have done, was put Zack Snyder as the guy that runs your fucking universe, like Marvel did and Disney did with not John Favreau. Well,
Kevin
he is
Feige.
basically Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what Marvel did, right? So why don't you copy that?
It's like if Thor 2 Dark World came out, which is a huge stinker, right? Mm-hmm. If DC was in control and Thor 2 Dark World came out, they'd be like, oh, we're scrapping the whole fucking thing. We're scrapping the whole goddamn thing.
Happening.
We're making I want everything to be in the style of Howard the Duck, because people like the Duck in that one movie, right?
I want to also make it like Private Parts with Howard Stern.
Yeah, that's literally kind of DC's thinking. Like, DC would rather fucking shoot themselves in the foot, and they have one misstep, and they go fucking burn it all to the ground. But also, we're gonna not tell you that we're gonna burn it to the ground. We're still gonna give you guys the movie, and then after we pay for you to make the movie, we're gonna burn it to the fucking ground because we're a bunch of fucking idiots. That's DC right now.
It's one of those things, man. It really is unfortunate, and it is where we are right now. It's goddamn Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man running fucking Warner Brothers.
It's embarrassing.
Money, 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 money. Come on, no.
It's so sad.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm so sad right now. I'm gonna write an emo song about DC.
But that's where we are. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we keep beating down the doors and we show our excitement with the, I know it sounds stupid, but the hashtags restore the Snyderverse. There's a lot more of us than there are of them.
It's so stupid, man.
But that's the reality, though. If we keep doing that, maybe we get their attention.
I want to see Chris Terrio and Ben Affleck get together and do an Argo / The Big Short. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Big Short about the stock market or the housing bubble, great fucking movie, hilarious movie, by the way. But I want to see a movie about like that, all based on how badly the DC universe was handled during this time. That would be fucking epic. Dude.
We call the rise and fall of DC like the rise and fall of WCW.
Man, I'd love to see it.
I don't want to see that because I mean that's actually admitting that DC has fallen and they can't get back. They can get back. DC is they can
maybe
get
it's
back.
a wake up call. Marco V. Villatoro says they are just salty Zack Snyder brought and gave DC a bright future that everybody would really be into, and you're spot on, my friend. That's exactly what that Zack Snyder's Justice League was proof that what his vision would work, and they're like, nah, Blue Beetle.
Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then oh my God, Jeff Harris, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the fucking huge super chat, dude. Jeff Harris, thanks, buddy.
Jeff Harris, thank you.
Harris, I will find him. He says, I'm not a huge fan of Zack's DC films like you guys, which I feel really left out because I'm a huge DC fan. I just have a problem with the film story-wise, but I respect you both for your passion about Zack. Keep up the great work, guys. Much love. And see
I get that, man. And that's the respect that you got to have. The fact that we can all say we're DC fans and we just want the best for these characters represented on film correctly. I think that's all we can go for. And the fact is, I mean, we are huge Zack Snyder fans, and we would, cradle his Grundle if he asked us to on set. But yeah, I get it. I mean, there's some people that just don't like his interpretation of Batman and Superman, and I totally respect that. But it's not you that I'm, raging against. It's these fucking like clueless assholes that just want the red underwear over the fucking tights again. And look, Christopher Reeve was one of the best Superman to ever exist, but you're just not going to get that anymore. You you got to move on, man.
Yeah, and
I loved him, and I love Christopher Reeve, dude. Like that was the truest representation of Superman I've ever seen. If you're going to jump off of comic books.
But like you said, they tried
50s,
they tried that with Brandon Ruth, and it
just didn't work. It just doesn't work.
But Jeff, what you just said there was a perfect explanation of how you can have a civil conversation about something and being like, "Hey, I don't agree with this. I don't like that guy's style. It's not my thing." Like some movies, like Avatar, I don't like the fucking style. I don't like the movie, but people fucking love it. You know what I mean? Like.
I'm surprised you didn't say something against me because Mike always does because I'm wearing a blue shirt.
I know.
I bet you're trying to suck dick for James Cameron.
That's probably what your background is right now. It's a bunch of Avatar bullshit.
I love James Cameron.
But that's exactly the way it's done, right? Like, I don't personally like his films, but I've seen other people who are like-minded like you be like, I don't like his films, but I'm happy that fans who have been fighting for this got what they wanted. It's crazy, man, that like level heads prevail in moments like this. Austin says, true story, this girl I met literally saved my life and kept me from the friend zone for 3 years. We spoke every day before things ended badly, and I saw her at the bank today. This stream helped a lot. Oh, she kept you in the friend zone. Friend zone's a hard place to be,
That's fucking sucky, man.
Hard place to be, Austin. Our thoughts are with you. If it helps you at all, know this. Every dude watching this stream right now has been exactly where the fuck you are, buddy. It happens to us all, and it happens to the best of us. It just does.
Yeah,
it's happened to me.
It happened to me intentionally.
Yeah, it's dark.
I wanted to be in the friend zone, and it worked. But then one time I didn't want to be in the friend zone. I'm like, shit, it actually is a real thing. I liked this one girl a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, I was trying to like flirt and shit, and I thought everything was going good. I bought dinner. I was being like,
Yeah.
And then she was like, you're just a great friend. I'm like, fuck!
Dude, I went and picked up a girl like every single day and drove around, and we bought pot together and smoked doobies together, and I drove her all around, listened to Green Day Dookie on cassette, had a great time together for weeks. Totally in the friend zone the entire time. Brought up the way I felt. Shit on. all the way. Ended up driving her to a dude's house. That was the last time we hung out.
It's
I
the
feel your
worst
pain.
ever.
It sucks.
When that happens, when she's like, I don't know, I just see you as a friend. I'm like, well, I mean, you didn't say that when I was buying your fucking goddamn meal.
And by the way, let me preface this. Just because a girl decides to have dinner with you and you pay doesn't mean she has to have sex with you. That's like the other version.
Yeah,
of it.
but you also got to realize that some chicks and dudes will lead you on, and you got to know the difference on that.
Sure. I'm just saying, like, you know, for posterity's sake, that there are some guys who think there's some fucking idiot guys who are like, hey, do you want to be friends? Literally everything is friendship. And like, oh, this guy seems nice and we could be friends. They go out to dinner. He buys it. They go, no, don't buy my dinner. I'm fine. No, I want to. I just want to be a good friend. And then that night he texts her, it's like, you to come over and blow me. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, you're a fucking disgusting whore. Thanks for keeping me in the friend zone. That's not the friend zone we're talking about.
That sounds like if you're fucking friends with Scott Steiner. I mean, I think generally speaking, it's not. Here's the thing.
Exactly.
I also say, and I 100% agree with this. I'm sorry, it might be a shock to you. Dudes and girls, generally speaking, you can't be fucking best buddies. It's just not going to happen. There's always going to be fucking emotions that get involved here.
There are exceptions that prove the rule.
Very few. Because here's the thing. I've seen them, like, dude, it's all over the place. When a guy gets attached to a girl or a girl gets attached to a guy and they're buddies, at some point, it's always going to happen. You have a vagina. I have a wiener. We've been hanging out for a while. We're close together. I don't know. I guess we could sleep in the bed together and touch fucking like legs and we won't do anything. I got a boner though. What should I do? We could be fuck buddies. It always elevates. I'm just telling you, be careful. Be careful.
I'll say 70% of the time. 70% of the time it elevates.
That's a lot.
And that's a big number. That is a big number, but it's not always that case. I have been friends with girls who I had no intentions of banging whatsoever.
Well, I mean, depending on the physical attraction of certain girls, for sure.
Yeah,
70%. But I'm talking about if the girl is fucking stacked, if she's looking like a fucking 9 out of 10, and she looking like a nice little biscuit.
And on the guy's angle too, you got to realize. I think the main thing to focus on is if there are always signs. There are signs in these situations. That guy or that girl will, at some point in all those hangout sessions, throw out little signs that they want it to be a little bit more. Okay,
you gotta back out.
And you just gotta watch for the signs. If there's no signs, sometimes it can be okay. But no, anyways, long story short, the friend zone does exist.
It sucks.
It sucks and it hurts. And we're there for you, buddy. We feel bad for you. We hope you had fun tonight. I know that we did. And as we end here, DJ N says, and we are Hacksaw Jim Duggan, yo. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Biz nutches.
That's a great analogy. Hacksaw Jim Dugan is what all our friends are. Like the people that want the Snyderverse restored. We are grabbing a 2x4, marching up with blue underwear, going, oh, at the fucking Warner Brothers doors. Like, change it, bitch.
David Meager says, thanks, buddy. He says, hopefully the rumors of the Flash movie are true and they're using it to start a multiverse. Then maybe we get a Snyderverse back, though Snyder doesn't seem interested, and I don't blame him. David, I think that's a thing for Zach where he would do it, but he wants someone at WB to come to him and be like, we're sorry, we're going to fucking pay you now, and we're actually not going to fuck with your shit anymore. And then I think for sure Zach would come back and he would do it up and he would do it right.
What was the question?
He said that hopefully the rumors of the Flash movie are true. They're starting a multiverse, and then maybe we can get the Snyderverse, but Snyder doesn't seem interested, and he doesn't blame him because of what Snyder said. But...
Yeah, dude, come on. It's going to be great. I mean, the Flashpoint is exactly where you would start to separate the continuities. If you wanted to have the Snyderverse, that's exactly what you would do. Yes. And I think that's what Warner Brothers is waiting for. You know what? You go ahead and say it right now. What is it, April 9th, 2021? I'll tell you right now, early on, make an announcement. After Flashpoint, Warner Brothers comes out and says Snyderverse exists in a different multiverse, and they'll fund it, and it'll be its own thing. Whereas the Flashpoint sets in their motion their particular universe. Yes, dude, it's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. And I said that fucking years ago. That's how you fix the whole fucking thing. That's how you fix Ben Affleck not coming back because he's too old or he doesn't want to do it anymore. That's how you put what's his name? The fucking glowy boy, Twilight.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I was gonna say Pat Patterson. I'm still on wrestling right now.
Patty cakes.
Robert Pattinson, yes, in the fucking actual regular DC universe, which Warner Brothers wants to do. Flashpoint, you wait, guys, wait. It's going to change everything. April 9th, 2021. Remember it. Remember it. I feel like Uncle Ben and Spider-Man. Remember that, Pete. Remember that.
Vanessa Moreno said, I'm always friend zoned. That's why I'll just keep up my whorish ways. And good for you.
You got to do what you got to do, Vanessa.
You got to get in there and. DJN says, Ponderosa buffet types.
Buffet types.
My stream ended, but hopefully you can hear me in that stupid fucking face I've got on. DJN says, Ponderosa buffet type girls. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. This is an extension of the convo with my boys at Comic Movie Marks. Combo stream, duders. I don't know what you said, yo, but I like it.
What the fuck are you saying? Is that a fucking super chat?
It was. I don't know what you meant, though, but I like you. You're crazy, but I like you. And this concludes our broadcast day.
I don't know what the fuck you said, but I hope you have a good night. Jesus Christ.
I've been blasted into the Snyderverse.
Apparently so.
And I am floating amongst you.
The drunk verse.
A man who wants a woman. Durant Cinema says, I love you guys. That is all. Have a good night. You too, Durant. Love you, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And guys, even though you can't see me, I want you to know that I love you. And I want you to know that we had a great time this Friday night. And I'm going to sleep with everyone here.
I feel like you're trying to recreate the Sopranos ending.
I want to fuck all of you.
I think Mike's trying to do Tony Soprano's ending in the fucking diner. I'm waiting on Journey to come on. Don't stop. Believe it.
I know you can't see me, but just know I want to fuck.
Motherfucker sounds like that one dude from it's like, even though you can't see me, I'm always there. A walk to remember.
Have a great fucking Friday night, everybody. We love you. Marco says WB cut Mike's live. Yeah, that's what happened.
Good. That's the only thing I agree with.
Warner Brothers, cut us the fuck off.